Hello and welcome. As you can see, I'm the only person out here right now. I'm working on getting everyone else to come and be on the show. Give it a little time and they'll be here. There's Sal.
What's up?
Hey, buddy.
What's going on, man?
Good, that way the people over on YouTube don't have to listen to me talk by myself.
Dude, I just rewatched, I should say, one of the worst movies ever made. But it's one of those movies that's so bad that it's actually funny because it's that bad.
What movie was that?
It was called Deuces Wild.
I think
Came out in 2002. It's like, I don't know, it's like a 50s, 60s version of like The Sopranos and like West Side Story. Do you ever see the movie Blade?
Yes.
Alright, you know Frost in it, the bad guy?
Yeah, it's
Stephen Dorff.
Stephen Dorff, yep.
Yeah, he's in Deuces Wild.
Dude, he was just in the most recent season of True Detective, and he was phenomenal in it.
Was he really?
He's actually a really good actor.
No, he is a good actor. I actually enjoy his work, but like, oh my god, dude! Like, if you can find this movie, it's so bad. It's like, hey, what are you doing over here? Hey, it's like Goodfellas, but like really crappy.
Is that the one where you see his dick?
I don't think so.
Hold on. There's one of them, he's fucking this chick. Somebody comes into the room, and he gets upset, and he like pulls out, and he's like half erect.
Oh, wait a minute. I think you might be right.
Let's see.
Because he's fucking the girl from The Sopranos. That's his girlfriend in it, Adriana. Well, that's not her real name, but that was her name in The Sopranos.
I'm trying to think. This doesn't say it on here at all, but I thought that is Scott Calvert. No, maybe not. Maybe it's not this one.
Alright.
No, because I think it's a black guy that directs that one. Because they talked about it in. Have you ever? I think it's the movie Fuck. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Fuck. It's a documentary, and they talk about like censorship in movies and shit like that. Um, it's like Kevin Smith and a bunch of other people and shit like that.
I haven't seen it, but it sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it is actually really good because they do a lot of like talking about how like the MPAA can run things and how like a lot of it is like, oh, it's just a group of people who are saying like what you can and can, what
Right.
constitutes ratings for that, and they talk about it like it's a bunch of like independent directors and shit like that where they're like, yeah, we submitted our movie, they gave it an NC-17,
Which
and
is like the death rating because
right,
you can't
and
do anything with it.
right, but they're like they like compare it to like other movies that are like big budget movies like an R rating, and they're like my movie doesn't have any dicks in it. It's got like a topless scene and it got some making out of it. That meanwhile this movie over here has got PG-13 and says shit 3 times and stuff like that. So it's like really cool. It's really interesting to listen to like some of these people like how they're like, Jesus Christ, like we had to deal with this shit and like
Oh, I'm sure it's all political. Like it's all like
well, so that's where one of my favorite start because they have Trey Parker and Matt Stone talk about it on there as well. They're the creators of South Park, and they were talking about Team America World Police and some of the things that they had to do in that to get it by, like the MPAA and shit like that. And so they apparently the puppet sex scene in there in the movie was about like 2 or 3 times as long. But here's the thing: they had no intention of it being that long in the movie. Well, what they did was, so they submitted it, and the MPAA came back and said, "Okay, you need to cut this and this and this." So they're like, "Well, we compromised down to what we wanted anyways," and they don't realize that because they thought that they won because they made us cut the stuff out. We didn't want that stuff in there. We wanted it to just be what it was in the thing. But
we got what we wanted in the end. We just put a bunch of extra shit in there that we knew that they were going to be like, hey, get rid of that.
Right. And the so that's not the right thing. So yeah, then they talk. I mean, it's a really good one. You should check it out because there's also like a little bit of a history of like that kind of shit in movies and some of the things they do. But one of the things is they talk to the guy who made that movie I was talking about with Steven Dorff, where he comes out fucking dick flop and stuff like that. And the guy's like, I was like, well, I had 3 different cuts. He's like, I had one where he was like fully erect, one that he was like half, and one that he was like down. He's like, and what I wanted was the one in the middle, so I submitted the one where he was fully erect, and they turned around and said, no. So I went back and go, okay, here it is now, it's not as bad, and they're like, okay, good. So there's a lot of like they have to do shit like that to play around with it, and it's like
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying if you think about it.
Right, because it's like, no, well, I want to display this as an artist,
right?
But I have to do all this other extra shit just to get it put on a screen. Like,
well, and there was like a Natalie Portman movie where they seriously came back with like, in this scene, the gentleman thrusts into her 10 times. You can only show 7, so you're going to need to cut out 3 of the thrusts. It's like that's
like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's like that's how much it goes, and it's just like. It's like I said, there's also a lot of things where it's like it's completely inconsistent too on like what.
Oh well, you've seen Wild Things with Kevin Bacon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's full frontal in that, and that's rated R. Right. That was released in theaters.
Exactly, and it's because of the fact that it's a bigger budget movie. It's so the MPA doesn't want to piss off certain studios and stuff like that, So yeah, so you can sit there and fucking have you could have a lot more shit going on than what is shown.
Let me question though. You mentioned the oh my god, you just said it too. The one by Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
Team America World Police.
Team America World Police.
Yeah.
Do you think that movie gets allowed to be released today?
Boy.
Because there's a lot of things that like they tend to not do anymore, especially like the racist shit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that they would write that movie anymore.
True.
So, but yeah, and It's hard to say honestly because
Even American History X, as controversial as that was when it came out, I don't see that ever getting a green light to get in the theater these days.
it's kind of difficult because I mean there are still a lot of those like thought provoking movies and stuff like that where they actually are showing things that you don't see every day and shit like that. So
Right, and it is supposed to be thought provoking and supposed to,
yeah.
bring up a discussion and stuff like that. So, like, I get that aspect of it. I'm thinking of, like, the graphically violent scene outside the dude's house when he put the guy's face on the curb.
I'm trying to think of like some of the things. I mean, like independent movies, obviously, that's shit's still going on. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. Like more mainstream shit, it's kind of a little bit more difficult.
Well, like, the big thing now is, obviously the big budget is superhero films.
Yeah.
And I think they avoid a lot of controversy with stuff like that because it's just, kind of cookie cutter.
Yeah. I'm sorry, it's not Fuck. Fuck is a different documentary. This film is not yet rated. That's what it's called.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yes, that's the one where they actually like talk about the MPA and stuff like that.
What's up, Ginger?
What's up, Ginger?
What's up, guys?
Yeah,
We're having movie talk.
Yeah, Fuck is where they actually talk about like the F word and some of that. But yeah, so this film is not yet rated. Also, one you should see because both are good, but also Kevin Smith in that as well for obvious reasons.
No, I heard of this film is not yet rated. I heard it was a big deal. Like everybody thought it was really good.
Oh, because it was great because of the fact that, like I said, there was so much of it where they talked about things that you don't normally hear about. They go after the MPA raiders and they're just like normal people and like
but they get to determine what is too much or
right. But
dude, speaking of too much, for the first time ever, and don't ask me why I never saw this before, other than it was probably because it's old. I saw The Clockwork Orange the other day.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I never saw it before, and I was like, "Oh shit!" That's why there's all these posters in Newbury Comic.
Oh, okay. So, I was just thinking about this. So you said that like the graphic violence and stuff like that, but like Hereditary just recently came out, and that literally has a young girl getting decapitated and her like mushed head on the side of the road.
That's true.
Tony Collette sawing her own fucking head off. So yeah, I mean that's a little bit different. Obviously, it's not doing a hate crime to somebody, but I think in certain ways. I mean, you look at like 13 Reasons Why on Netflix. That's where like they have like the teen suicide and things like that.
Yeah, and they had a rape. Actually, they had 2 rape scenes in there.
So
if the first one wasn't controversial enough, they had to release a new one in the second season, which was even worse.
Oh yeah, so there's a new show. I think it comes out tomorrow on HBO. It's called Euphoria, and apparently people are already up in arms about it because apparently it's very graphic, and they say like some people got to see the first episode and they say it was somewhere in the vicinity of like 30 dicks in the first episode. So
wow!
Apparently it's like very like sexual and stuff like that.
Leave it to HBO.
And there was somebody that quit. Because it's a movie about high schoolers.
Oh,
so, there's a lot of like sex and stuff like that for high school kids, quote unquote high school kids, because obviously the actors are all of age. Just like 13 Reasons. Yeah, but yeah, like I guess there was somebody that quit the movie or quit the show because of the fact that they were like, this is too much. Yeah.
Ginger.
Oh, it's a Brian Bradley, one of the shows.
What's the most offensive movie or show you've ever seen?
You'll notice he did not ask me that question.
I don't know because I don't get offended very easily.
Okay.
So.
Did you ever see Team America: World Police?
Oh yeah.
That was pretty. It was fucking funny.
I thought it was fucking hilarious.
I thought it was hilarious.
Durka Muhammad Jihad.
Mind you, we are live on YouTube.
I'm just quoting the movie.
Yeah, he's just quoting the movie.
I mean, the most socially awkward for me was Dinner for Schmucks.
Okay.
But with Steve Carell,
Mhm.
and
Yes.
they bring all these weirdos to the dinner, and that movie was just... That one bothered me because it was just so fucking awkward. But I mean, offensive. Like I said, I'm not easily offended like most people nowadays. So it's, nah, nothing really fucking bothers me.
Is there any, okay, so not offended, but is there a scene or scenes in the movie that you can think of that have like stuck with you in a negative way?
The rape scene from Last House on the Left, the remake.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh yeah, that is a good one.
So uncomfortable.
That was that absolutely was.
That and my wife, that bothered, those kinds of scenes like really bother my wife, and we watched it and she like the whole rest of the movie she like just didn't fucking care because that scene bothered her so much.
No, good pull right there because I didn't even think of that one.
Wicked bad.
So if I've got a couple I would think of. Have you ever seen a movie Super?
Super?
Yeah, it's Rainn Wilson and Ellen Page.
Can't say that I have.
So it's like kind of a parody on what's it called, like superhero movies.
Okay.
Because like Rainn Wilson, it's like kind of it feels like it's supposed to be funny, but it's like not really funny. But like Kevin Bacon is the bad guy in it, and like so Rainn Wilson thinks he's a superhero, and he actually like runs around with a giant fucking wrench, smacking people in the fucking face with it. But then like Ellen Page like becomes his sidekick, and spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't watched it or is going to watch it, there is a shot in the movie that it stuck with me for like weeks on end, and even now I haven't gone back and watched it, but they get into like a gunfight with Kevin Bacon and his guys, and like
Alright.
the two of them fall to the ground, and Rainn Wilson looks over, and half of Ellen Page's face is missing because she just got fucking blown away, and like it's that like still shot of like her eye fucking missing, where I'm just like, holy shit. And I watch a lot of violence and stuff like that, but it was so unexpected, and like I said, a movie that's like kind of supposed to be funny, but kind of like dark comedy wise. So it was that one. Obviously, I've got kids, so like the one scene in Hereditary, even though Hereditary was just kind of an okay movie to me, the one scene with the girl getting decapitated bothers me, obviously. There's a scene in The Human Centipede, I think 2. Where
I'm
a
looking
girl-
up stuff online and they just mentioned Human Centipede.
Yeah, so like the first movie was what it was. The second movie, the only thing that really bothered me and stuck with me was it's so ridiculous too, but like a woman is like trying to escape from this dude, and like she winds up giving birth, and like the baby like she's in a car, right, trying to get away, and like she's having trouble starting. She like gives birth, and the baby like slides underneath the pedals, and she like smashes the pedal down and fucking crushes the baby's face underneath the pedal.
Holy shit.
But like, if you're watching it, you're just like, what the fuck did I just watch, man? You know?
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
You know, it was a pretty bad one. 2 Girls, 1 Cup.
Well, yes.
If you like Shisa porn, it's fine. If you don't like Shisa porn, then it's probably not great for you.
God,
It wasn't like super like disturbing or anything like that, but it did stick with me. That B movie that came out on Netflix a while ago, Terrorizer. It so it's kind of a classic slasher film with the guy is like a deranged. Yeah, he's a deranged clown, and he takes a girl and he hangs her upside down, and then he chainsaws her right down the middle.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, but it was stuck with me. I was like, oh shit.
I've seen the clown's face. I just haven't watched the movie. What's up, buddy?
What's going on?
Hey.
A
Doing
big
the running.
stick.
Doing the running tonight.
Awesome.
Well, you're on the wrong podcast. This is the movie review podcast,
Yes.
apparently.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Get over it.
He just disappeared.
As I'm trying to fix a fucking picture on this thing, he bounces. Fucking prick. Oh, I gotta
Yeah.
add it back now, don't I? Oh, Do I have to? Oh, okay.
Oh, he's back.
All right. I wasn't sure if I had to add you back or not. I was like,
Oh, IMDb lists that American History X scene I was talking about as one of the 25 most disturbing scenes of all
Oh, the
time.
curb stop.
Yep.
It is, man. I mean, because when you think about it, I mean, but there's, like I said, there's a lot of like impactful deaths in movies that are, you know.
I think the thing that bothers most people about that scene is the teeth sound when he actually.
Yes.
Oh, brutal.
Ugh.
Let's not forget, him getting friggin' gang raped in the shower wasn't exactly the most pleasant scene to watch either.
Oh no.
That's true.
Especially because he slams his head off the fucking tile beforehand.
Yes.
What's that?
Not the reaction I thought I was going to get talking about that scene.
Didn't realize you liked hate crime so much. Oh, it must be a home run in the Boston game. Holy balls, dude! 6-6 now, or is it?
Should be 7-6 in a minute. 'Cause
Okay.
I think they're about to review this and turn it into a home run.
Okay.
We'll see.
Oh, any of you seen 127 Hours?
Oh, no, right off the top.
Where the guy's stuck like in the rock?
It's a double.
No, because I just thought it would be boring.
And
I've
he's
seen
like,
bits and pieces of it.
He like, you know, very jaggedy slices his arm off.
I mean, the real story I think is more horrifying than the movie.
Yeah,
You know.
absolutely.
Because that I mean, that's the thing though. If you're watching the movie, you're the whole time you're thinking like, yeah, this fucking really happened. You know,
Mm-hmm.
this guy
Right.
slowly kind of went insane to an extent. Like you can't come out of that having all of your faculties after that.
Oh no.
You know,
Nope.
it's one thing. It's one thing to be like to cut off your own arm. That's fucking crazy and good on him for that will to survive. But like that has to do something with your brain being trapped for that long.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah. I don't know, Sal. Toronto's got a 5-point lead right now.
Oh no.
No,
Any
I-
of you ever seen Requiem for a Dream?
Yeah. They talk about that in this film is not E-rated.
Oh really? That had some disturbing shit in it.
Oh yeah. A lot
Like
of
when
that
the
dude's
dude's arm was all fucking destroyed, its veins were all fucking blown up,
yeah.
and they sawed it off.
Why are we
But a little buzzsaw.
And there's something in one of the Saw movies where a dude like got the middle of his hand sliced in half, and he like comes back out and is like, "Rrrr." No.
Oh yeah. No, that was I think number 6 because he had the pins, the hooks through all these, and then his Achilles heel, and yeah. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
No, there's a third or fourth one where it's like they're supposed to work together through the whole thing, but they keep like sacrificing more and more people. And at the end, it's like the dude and a chick are the only ones that are left, and they get to a machine. And it's supposed to be like you got to fill it up with blood, and there's enough armholes for everyone that was there.
Oh
And they have to
yes.
put their hands in, and he like gets sliced all the way down, and then he like pulls his hand out, and it's like half hanging. It's like that's pretty cool. The Gilmore Girls guy getting crushed too was kind of fucked up. It was his like arm is like snapping and shit like that. I think
Oh,
that's 5 or 6. I don't know. So
Yeah,
Jason,
they came up with some creative shit for that movie. Those movies.
yeah. So Jason, are you going to be editing this or am I?
If it's okay, I'd prefer if you could, so I can catch up on some sleep. If it's a big deal, I can do it. But
Jason, when is the championship game?
Saturday
Oh,
afternoon,
nice.
5
nice.
o'clock. It was. I lost 5 years off my life last night. It was fucking insane.
I can imagine.
We were down 4-0 at the end of the first. I had to pull my starting pitcher in the first fucking inning
Oof.
and put in a kid who's barely pitched. He struck out 4 kids, got me out of the inning. Then I put in the second kid I was supposed to pitch. He did okay for an inning and then fell apart. And I had to bring my kid in, bases loaded, nobody out. He had to get me 9 outs. He only had 50 pitches if I wanted to be able to use him on Saturday.
Oh shit.
Goes to the first inning. It takes him 25 pitches. Yeah, he came in a little slow. He was not ready yet, so he walked the first 2 guys, and then he struck out the next 9 batters to end the game. But the last inning before he went out, I said, "Listen, You only got 13 pitches left before you can't pitch on Saturday. But we don't get to Saturday if we don't win today. So if you can't pitch on Saturday, I can live with that. But we got to win today, so I'm riding you until this game's over.
See, that's smart right there.
And then, so he had 13 pitches in that last inning. The little fucker went out and did it in 12 pitches, struck out 3 kids.
Wow.
So we won the game, and he gets to pitch on Saturday. So
what were you at today that you were thinking you were going to be a little late?
softball.
Oh, okay. So you have your softball?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Is it like a competitive league you're in, or just like a fun league?
It's for fun, but it's competitive.
Oh, naturally, I guess. So are you like in a championship hunt or something like that for that, or?
No, well, it's still only about halfway through, so
Okay.
there's a ways to go on that one.
All right.
I guess try to. So APW has an event page for their next event, but they don't have any of the fucking matches listed on the event page, which is just
Dude.
fucking.
There has been
Right.
so many of those that I haven't bothered with most of them because most of them are just trash. But there have been some really fucking good ones in those. So it's all elite. The Ramblin' Man one's funny.
Yay! NXT's at tonight's NXT show, Fandango made his return, helping out his best friend Tyler Breeze against the Forgotten Sons.
Oh, no.
Like,
Yeah,
That's where we're going?
I'm
That?
fine with dude. I'm fine.
I'm
with it
okay
because
with that.
Those two guys are too talented to be continually left off TV.
Yep.
I love Fandango. I just thought we'd get something different from both of them.
Yeah, but
You
give
are
me
getting-
something.
You are getting something different. They're being
Yep.
used.
That's true.
They'll be much more entertaining down there than they'll ever be on the main roster.
That's true.
Just because of the people that are holding them back up there.
Yep.
Down in NXT, we've already seen with Breeze. He went out there and he wrestled like we haven't seen him wrestle since he was in NXT, and he was doing promos like he can always do. And Fandango, I would like to see him maybe revert back to Johnny Curtis at this point, but if he continues to be Fandango, so be it. But I don't know. I've always been a big fan of him. I loved him as Let's Get Weird Johnny Curtis, and yeah, it's just a shame that they've really fucked him because he's good, man. Like, he's entertaining. He's got charisma. He definitely needs a new finishing move because otherwise he's going to need hip replacement surgery in about 5 years. But
Such a sweet leg drop,
it
though.
is nice, but that fucks you up, man. Ask Hulk Hogan how well his sister did.
Ask Hogan, ask Matt Hardy, ask fucking anybody that's consistently done a leg drop in their career.
Right. Hey,
You know
did
what I
you-
fucking absolutely love about Fandango? Is his... I have never seen it. His raspy, like, voice, because when he does comedy with it, it's hilarious.
yeah.
Like when he was doing the Vice City ripoff, the Miami Vice ripoff, Fashion Files. Oh my god,
Yeah.
it was fucking hilarious.
Like I said, man, he's real good. So did anyone take a look at Matt Hardy's Twitter to see his new like character thing he's doing?
No.
I've glanced at it before, so
Yeah. So he's rocking a facial hair like Sal now. He doesn't have the beard anymore. He's just got the little like tuft on there. And
Yeah.
his first video is he's at poolside and he just like turns the camera in like 360 showing like his pools over there, and then he just says, "You have no idea how hard it is to be Matt Hardy." And the next one he's complaining because he's like, "I had to get up at 11 o'clock today and get to work, and now I got to take a red-eye flight back to." So he's like white people problems, like rich guy complaining about having to do certain things. So he's going to be like a massive prick.
I feel like he was a similar character before
Big
he was
Money
broken
Hardy?
in TNA. Yeah, Big Money Matt, exactly.
Big Money Matt was who he was. Yeah, I think it's a somewhat of a return to that, with a little bit of tweaking. So we'll
Alright.
see, man. I mean, that dude has reinvented himself a fucking shit ton. So if anyone can do it, he can. It's just a matter of if they're going to let him do anything with it.
I really want to see version 2.
Well,
Yeah.
that was what was funny when they did the lumberjack thing. He had his fucking old Matt Hardy version 1 gear on, and I'm like, are we getting a return to that? I used to have that shirt. I have a purple shirt of the era of Mattitude has arrived, but yeah. All right, is everybody ready? Or Jason, you're working on something there?
I can go while you're doing it. It's fine.
Okay. All right. No, I should probably actually record this. That'd probably be good. Just a little bit. All right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Rundown Wrestling Podcast, episode 402. I am your consummate host, Troy. Joining me this week, it's the return of that big dick energy himself. Jason is here.
What is up? It's good to be back. I apologize for my recent absences. I've been in the midst of a playoff push with my son's Little League team, and we are one win away from hoisting that championship. So shout out to the Nationals, and let's bring it home on Saturday, boys.
All right. But it just wouldn't be the rundown if it's just me and Jason. That's more your NXT.
Oh, that was the rundown for quite a while, actually.
No one's talking. Because joining us, Sal is here.
I am here. The new rundown featuring Sal, because the old rundown was literally Jason and Troy for about 60 straight weeks.
How does fucking Sal now has more consecutive weeks than me? What the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
Right. That's right.
Records are made to be broken, man. But we are not done, because joining us to make it a 4-man fucking carrot stew, Ginger's here.
What's going on, guys? Jason, while I have you here, thank you for that inch. I really appreciated that last week.
Not as much as your wife, I'm sure.
Yes. What do you mean, hey? It's true.
Hey,
I
man,
mean, she enjoyed an extra inch.
Hey, well, you hit the bullseye twice, so.
Surgery was successful. Thank you.
Although it looks a
Yeah,
little...
you missed less time than I did. Look at that.
Look to the left.
So, before we get into things, Jason, why don't you go ahead and tell everyone what they can do right here and now if they are listening live.
Well, if you're watching us live on YouTube, you can look over on the right-hand side of your screen, at least on the web app. It's a little different on mobile, but it is there somewhere. You just got to hunt for it a little bit. There is a box, little chat box. We like to call it our Smathers Lounge, where you can slide in, you can slide your pants off, you can slide anything into anything else that you want while you're in there, because, hey, fucking what happens in the Smathers Lounge stays in the Smathers Lounge, except for herpes. That shit comes out with you. But you can interact with the show. Tell us what you want us to talk about. Tell us what you think about what we're already talking about. Tell us to go fuck ourselves. Just tell us something. We love feedback, and we are desperately insecure.
All right. So, we go from talking about the Smathers Lounge to going to the Sexy Lounge, because it's time to give our last 8 matchup results for the first round and move right along to the second round. Of course, you can go over to runonwrestling.com right now and vote for the hottest WWE male talent tournament. Right now, all second round matchups are sitting there waiting for your input. And much like that, I'm waiting for some input as well. So, let's go ahead and throw some dicks in it. Our first matchup that we had for the first round: Finn Balor versus Kurt Angle. I'm sorry, buddy.
This must have been a fucking close one. Nip and
So,
tuck, right?
I can tell you, without a shadow of a doubt, we have the lowest percentage of votes gathered by one individual.
Didn't somebody get a 0 in the women's tournament?
I'm talking about just the men's tournament.
Oh, okay.
I'm not even going to ask who everyone picked, because everyone knows we all picked Finn Balor. With 94% of the votes, 218 to 13, Finn Balor moves on. So yes.
Jesus Christ. Kurt Angle voted for himself 13 times? What the fuck?
You know?
Well, I think only 6 of them were him, and the other 7 were probably Jason Jordan.
Probably. I'm not in this tournament, but I'll get you through, Daddy. So then our next matchup, ironically, Dolph Ziggler versus Kofi Kingston. Ginger, which one you got?
I'd probably go Dolph. Dolph, yeah.
Okay, you can go Adolf. Good to know. Jason.
Not Dolph.
Okay. Did you forget who he
Really,
was
that's going to
against,
be
or
my
did
answer
you-
most of the time.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you forgot who he was against or if you were just saying as like a blanket statement.
No, it's more of an anti-Dolph sentiment than anything else.
Okay. Sal.
Yeah, I agree with Jason. Not Dolph.
Okay. Well, once you go Dolph, it makes you want to Rolf. So, with a vote of 155 to 76, Dolph Ziggler moves on.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
It's probably the chest, dude.
Well, or lack thereof.
Yeah. So that takes us to our next matchup, which would be AJ Styles versus Dave Batista.
I seriously thought you were gonna be like Adolf Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler. Sorry, Adolf Zig Heil. So yeah, AJ Styles versus Batista. Sal, which one you got?
Styles, right? Come on.
You like that mom haircut?
Yeah.
Jason.
Yeah, I'll go AJ.
Okay. Ginger.
AJ.
You were going to say something there, buddy?
With hair straight out of a shampoo commercial.
I mean, at least he's got some.
Well, if it's a Japanese shampoo commercial, then we can have it as a main event of WrestleMania. So,
Yep.
With a vote of 119 to 112.
Well,
Ooh.
Closest matchup this week. Batista moves on.
oh,
That is, at least by our count, an upset.
Yeah.
So that takes us to Carl Anderson versus.
well, hold on. Before we finish off that,
Yes.
have we ever answered the question of how big Batista's dick is?
No, we haven't because nobody's ever been able to give us that. Unless
I think
inside
it was
information.
recently answered,
Was it?
and apparently it's huge.
well, I mean that's the gimmick anyway. But as far as like how big, what did somebody take out a fucking ruler? Like,
Well, I know
Who hasn't?
somebody said that it was 8 inches, but I think he just agreed just to let the fucking thing die. But 8 inches is big, dude. I mean,
For some of you.
yeah. I don't think we'll ever fucking know. And he's getting too old for like that, for him to be like sharing dick pics or anything like that. Otherwise, it's just gonna be like Brett Favre. So
It's gonna be balls.
I mean, look, the guy is still in great shape, but he did for like the better part of 3 decades have a sun around his belly button. So, all right. So moving right along to Carl Anderson versus Epico. Now, was I thinking about the racer or was I thinking about the baseball player?
Yes.
Yes. The answer is yes. Well, technically, one of them's retired. The other one, I think, is in the minors at this point. So, Jason, who you got? Anderson or Epico?
I'm gonna go Carl Anderson because if he's good enough for a hot Asian wife, then good enough for me.
yep.
Ginger.
I'm in agreement with that one.
All right. Sal.
I'm in agreement.
I'd be a little nervous about a guy whose nickname is Machine Gun, but, vote of, at least it's not Jackhammer. Vote of 195 to 36. Carl Anderson moves on. So then that takes us to the man formerly known as Dean Ambrose taking on Scott Dawson. Sal.
I will go with the wrestler formerly known as Dean Ambrose.
All right, Ginger.
Shocker! You've been sucking his dick on this show for years. Why stop now?
Oh,
That's true.
so good to have you back there, buddy.
I mean, if anything, if you're sucking John Moxley off, there's a chance that Renee Young is over in the corner flicking a bean. So,
It's true. Fair enough.
at least you can kind of like
Look
give
at the bean.
you can kind of like the dick will be like half in your mouth. You'd be looking over it and be like, what the?
Flicking the bean like Mean Joe Green.
That's right, baby. I think I was.
What about Mean Mark Green?
Yeah, I think I was asking Ginger what he thought about this.
Fuck's
one.
that guy?
I'd probably go Scott Dawson.
Okay. See, there's a reason why not many people know this, but Lisa was actually once she was once a carny. She was actually a sword swaller. It's the only person that Jason could get that could handle it. So, Jason.
Ironically enough, I spent one summer working as a carny.
Nice.
So
Nice. That's
yeah.
how you met your wife. Go ahead and make your pick on this one.
Shit.
Don't
So,
quit.
hold on.
Don't quit these. songs.
Dawson versus who again?
John Mox.
John Ambrose.
Okay,
John
so on principle, this is a WWE tournament. I'm voting for Scott Dawson because Ambrose isn't a thing anymore.
Because Gene Ammox left. Vote of 172 to 59. Dean Ambrose moves on.
Ugh.
So Dawson.
He's afraid of Dawson. It's a bunch of chicken mocks.
That's right. That takes us to Andrade versus Brian Kendrick. A couple of little boys battling it out here. I didn't mean little like
It's
they're-
Andrade. It's Andrade.
I'm like, dude, Andrade is like 6 feet taller than fucking Brian Kendrick. Like, all right, not really, but like,
and he's got that Latino heat. It's fucking Andrade.
it's Andrade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so a vote of 195 to 36. Andrade's moving on.
Damn right.
So that takes us to then Zack Ryder versus Drew Gulak. I'm pretty sure that Gulak was on every single one of our fucking shows this week. I know he was on NXT. I'm pretty sure he showed up on 205 Live as well. So
He was
did.
not
He
on
was
Raw or
the main
SmackDown.
event.
he was not on Raw and SmackDown, but he's on our show right now because we're talking about him taking on Zack Ryder. So Jason, Ryder or Gulak?
I feel like Ryder would annoy the fuck out of me at some point, and I'm just gonna go Gulak.
I feel like both of them would annoy the fuck out of you, though.
I don't know. Gulak seems like he'd be sort of chill if he wasn't wrestling. You know?
I mean, Ryder does have that sort of like personality that he loves like video games and shit like that, but
Yeah, but he'll be trying to fist you with his action figures and shit. And it's like,
I do feel
Yeah.
like most of his like action figure Royal Rumbles just ends with them like mock humping each other. So.
well, and it basically just it's gonna escalate until you get to those like hard plastic LJN figures. And
Oh, Jesus.
that shit's gonna hurt. So
It's gonna be like those old figures where like their bodies are stationary and their feet would like pop up in you. That's what it's gonna be.
I'm all set.
Sal.
Wow, what
What
a
the fuck?
interesting dynamic that turned into. Ryder.
All right. Ginger.
Ryder, I don't even know her.
Jim.
God, Ryder, I think, yeah. I'd go Ryder.
All right, a vote of 125 to 106. Zack Ryder moves on. Our final matchup of the week is, well, I was going to say the aforementioned Fandango, but that was pre-show. Fandango versus Leo Rush. Yeah. Yeah. Ginger.
Fandango.
That's Jason.
Fandango.
Sal.
Fandango.
All right. With a vote of 196 to 35, Fandango moves on. So that takes us to, as I said, round 2, where you can go right now and vote on all 16 matchups in the second round. They are as follows. Roman Reigns takes on his doppelganger Jimmy Uso. Tony Nese takes on Juan Cena, who gets mysterious boners. Xavier Woods takes on Bobby Lashley. Bobby Roode takes on Tyler Breeze. Drew McIntyre versus Elias. Mike Kanellis, soon to be formerly known as Mike Kanellis, takes on Danny Dash Wilder. EC3 takes on the Russian Viper Randy Orton. Ali takes on Seth Rollins. On the other side of the bracket, we've got Ricochet versus Cesaro. Again, rather timely on that. Humberto Carrillo takes on Sheamus O'Shaughnessy. Sami Zayn takes on Budrick Murphy. Apollo Crews versus The Miz. Finn Balor versus Dolph Ziggler. So, bye, Dolph. You can goose step your way on out of here, buddy. Batista takes on Carl Anderson. Gene Moxley takes on Andrade. And Zack Ryder versus Fandango. So, go to rundownwrestling.com right now and vote. Vote now, vote often, vote as many times as you fucking want. We don't give a fuck. So, let us talk about Super Showdown. So,
All right, well, we did that.
so Yeah, I do have a feeling that we're not going to spend a lot of time on this, obviously. But here goes. So the Usos defeated the Revival.
Didn't see it.
All right.
Kickoff show, right?
All right. So show of vocal hands, because it's an audio podcast. How many people actually watch Super Showdown?
I watched
I did.
most of it.
Parts. I did watch most of it. Yeah.
Okay.
I watched it all.
All right. Good. The Usos versus Revival. Decent match. Kickoff match. No big deal. So that took us to, right off the bat, Seth Rollins defending against Baron Corbin.
Yeah, Seth opening a pay-per-view for the second consecutive month with a Universal title match.
Yeah. It was weird, too, because I got it the first time they did it. It made sense. This one, it was just like, why? You know, there's plenty of other but you know matches that could have gone on first.
You know what's fucked about that is that's what got me to turn it on, because I heard on Twitter like, "Hey, they're opening with Seth versus Corbin," and after a few minutes, I was like, "I wonder if Brock is gonna cash in," and I turned it on, so it fucking worked.
So Rollins,
I did love fucking Rollins Avengers Quantum Realm gear. That was fucking sweet.
Yeah, very much.
That might be his favorite gear that I've seen so far.
Yeah.
For me.
I agree. I've really enjoyed a lot of the different inspired outfits that he's had. This one in particular was really cool, and it suits him too.
John on the side, I think, assuming when we're talking about Drew Gulak not being on Raw or SmackDown, said they would have to have cut some of the 17 hours of Shane to get more room on the main roster shows.
Nice.
They're not gonna do that.
Yeah. So Seth winds up winning. And then Brock Lesnar's music continued to hit throughout this match, just fucking with Seth Rollins. Finally, he comes out. Baron Corbin hits an end of days, fucks off. Lesnar comes in the ring, and then Paul Heyman trips getting into the ring, thus launching the briefcase halfway across the fucking ring, which apparently was enough of a distraction for Seth to grab a chair and beat the ever-loving piss out of Brock Lesnar, thus assuring that he would leave with the championship.
Well, he dick punched him first.
I was gonna say, first
Dick
he
punch.
tiger uppercutted him into the fucking nutsack.
Then he grabbed the chair and beat the piss out of him. Sorry. How could I forget a dick punching? So
I mean, at least he got distracted by something reasonable, unlike somebody's random music fucking hitting. So,
yeah.
True.
I've yet to understand why someone's music hitting causes you to go into a trance where you have to stare up the aisle for 2 minutes until that person comes up. But
I don't know. Ask Ali. Maybe he's epileptic. So anything else that really stood out in this match?
Nope.
I thought Corbin did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I thought the in-ring work by Corbin was good. I thought the end of days is still one of my favorite moves, just the way it looks and everything like that. And when you get a guy like Seth who knows how to sell moves, it's always going to look better too. So then we got our second surprise of the night, as after Andrade came out, the Demon emerged. Finn Balor.
How was that a surprise? I thought
that
they
a surprise?
announced it.
They advertised it, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember hearing that they were going to advertise it.
They
Oh, yeah, no,
totally
leading-
advertised it on the Raw beforehand.
The graphic was the Demon. Now they advertised it actually like a month out that it was the Demon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Not so much a surprise.
Dude, it's very hard to hold my attention on Raw anymore. It's so fucking
Fair.
boring. All right, most
Fair.
of the time I wind up just looking at porn on my phone and jerking off. All right. So Finn Balor continues his streak of winning as the Demon. Proceeds to successfully defend the IC Championship.
Demon's never lost in WWE.
No.
Correct.
He's even, I was going to
And
say.
they brought that up specifically. The commentators brought that up, so you know they're going to make a thing out of it.
He did lose in NXT, but
Yes.
he's never lost in the main roster.
That's correct. Was it Joe that he lost to?
Yes.
As the Demon, though?
Yes, as
Yep.
the Demon. Yep, that
The
was
steel cage match, the blow
That's
off.
right, that's right,
Yeah.
that's right.
That was the big thing. Was everyone was all like, "Oh!" But it put Joe over good.
Mm-hmm.
So anything else really to talk about with this one?
I thought Andrade fucking... This match, I think if it was like in a smaller building, the crowd would have been fucking blowing up the entire time.
Yeah, I can see that. If it was maybe a guy that isn't so well known as being a supporter of gay people. Maybe it would be a little bit better for
Possibly.
him.
I'll say this. Obviously, Andrade's going to put on a damn good match with Finn. Have they announced that they're continuing this feud at Stomping Grapes?
Andrade has been out due to the death of his father. So that's also
Go ahead, make another fucking joke, Sal.
that's also
No,
that's also why Charlotte was also not on SmackDown.
We don't make jokes about dead people on this show, Sal.
Yeah,
That's right.
So I would say probably, but that's why we did not see this feud continue yet, because yes, he had a death in the family, and him and Charlotte were both off of it.
Right. I'd like to see them get another match. So,
do you think we'll go like old school with it, and there'll be a scene where like Andrade is riding his dad's casket as they drive away?
I think Andrade's taking that belt.
You were a bastard.
So wait a second. Here's the problem with the idea of having another fucking match between these two. The Demon is sort of like the ultimate of a feud.
Yeah.
You don't go back to fighting Finn Balor after you fought the Demon. The Demon's sort of the end of the story.
Right.
Yeah. Which kind of sucks because that wasn't a very good blow-off spot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it depends on what you're planning to do from here. I mean, if you plan on having Andrade do something for a little bit to build him back up, other than face Finn Balor again, then that makes sense. Or if you're eventually going to have...
Guys, it doesn't happen. This is what we fucking talked about. This is the shit that the wild card fucking kills. We don't see these guys on TV because we gotta have fucking Roman Reigns for 20 minutes on every fucking show. And God, we didn't even have fucking Roman Reigns on either show this week, but we needed 25 goddamn minutes of Shane McMahon and fucking Drew McIntyre. Yep. So... This is the shit. When I said months ago it was going to kill the fucking mid-card, this was the shit I was talking about. We're not going to see these guys in any sort of meaningful programs.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a month since Finn Balor wrestled on TV. Yeah. There should never be a month of time that Finn Balor doesn't wrestle unless he's hurt, okay? Because the dude is a star. Like, you don't look like that and not be used, okay?
Well, not only that, everybody else is getting shoved into these multi-man matches. Yeah. 6-man, 8-man tags, and yet Shane can have the mic for 30 fucking minutes. So
I wouldn't be fucking shocked if fucking Finn Balor's chasing R-Truth down the hallway in a month. Like, it wouldn't shock me at all.
Yikes. Finn has always been teetering on that edge where, because of the fact that he's a smaller guy, Vince just wants to just be done with him. But the crowd loves him for obvious reasons, because he's really fucking good. But yeah, again, he is much like what Daniel Bryan had to do, has had to fight this stigma of he's a smaller dude, and that's hard to do when you've got Vince at the helm there, because Vince is a body mark, and again, Roman Reigns is a big fucking dude. So speaking of Roman Reigns, though, Roman Reigns unsuccessfully faced off against Shane McMahon, the best in the world, in a shit match.
Yeah, I told you guys. This is exactly what was going to happen. Shane was going to somehow get a pin, and they're going to continue.
I mean, but Adam and Jeff also picked that, so you're not...
Yeah, and I mean, if you're going to drop things like, I told you guys, you should probably be at the top of the leaderboard of predictions. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it seems...
and you were. Congratulations.
That leaderboard is full of big dick energy, that's all I'm saying.
I mean, he was tied. With known terrible procrastinator Jeff. So Lars Sullivan took on Lucha House Party and wound up getting a DQ victory out of it, which I thought was kind of weird, but it was Lucha House Party and nobody gives a shit. It's Lars Sullivan. They, by the way, yet again busted him open in this match. It very much seems like they do not like Lars Sullivan.
It's almost as if they were on that muscle bodybuilding forum.
Yeah. Could be.
Or that shit was posted in the locker room.
Yes, he did.
Okay, there you go.
Yes, he did. Yeah, so I'm very, very interested to see that every time they faces off against him, they bust him open.
Okay, so here's the thing, and I said this coming into this fucking event, because we had the whole conversation about, are we going to watch this event, and I said, not from a morality standpoint, but from a
boredom.
Nothing ever fucking happens at these shows standpoint.
Yep.
So here's what I'm talking about. We couldn't even fucking blow off Lars Sullivan versus the Lucha House Party at this thing.
Yep.
We had to do it so that we could blow that off on Raw.
Yep.
Like, this show wasn't even big enough to blow off this feud at. So going forward, I don't ever want to hear the phrase, some big things are going to happen on this show.
No.
Because it's fucking not.
Clearly.
But it's the equivalent of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of WrestleMania. There was no title changes.
Yeah, nothing happened at WrestleMania either.
Yeah.
Hey.
They didn't even have their brand new championship on. They didn't have their well, obviously, I don't know why they didn't have the other one, but they didn't have the 24/7 championship at all.
Which
Yeah.
is
They
funny
should-
because
they should-
Jinder mentioned it in a backstage promo
They
at this
mentioned it.
event, and then
They
you never
literally-
saw it.
They literally, on the plane heading to Saudi Arabia, had a title change. Like,
Yes.
and then you just decided not to use it.
The problem was bad editing, because what the tagline actually was it's equivalent to WrestleMania matches between Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar.
True. That's true. Yeah. They had to shorten it up, though. They
Right.
They pay by the letter, so.
Right, yeah.
So Triple H took on Gajuka, Randy Orton. That is, by the way, Russian for the Viper. Thank you, Google Translate. Randy Orton wound up winning at least that battle. He did not wind up winning the battle against the announce table.
Ugh.
He tried.
He did win the battle for which fucking match gets the most time on the show, though.
Oh, of course he did. It's a Triple H match.
I don't know, it's trips.
This is the thing that annoyed me was, it was in the back of my head because I'm like every fucking Triple H match recently has been the longest one on the show. It's like there's no way with the other matches in this that they're gonna have the longest match. And sure fucking enough, he had almost double the next match.
Dude, somebody brought to my attention a little while ago that in the past 9 WrestleManias, he's had the longest match at like 8 of them.
Yeah.
And the only reason it wasn't all 9 is because, like, Taker took like 90 minutes to get to the ring to fight Roman.
I mean, if you add that time in.
Well, yeah, and then you add the half hour of retirement
Yeah.
that didn't retire.
Yeah, remember when he left his jacket and hat in the ring?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I just fucking said, Sal. Yes, I remember it. I just fucking said.
All right, Jesus, just salted tonight, man. What the fuck?
So
He's tired.
So Braun Strowman took on not only Bobby Lashley but also Bobby Lashley's stage, and wound up beating both of them.
I like how he tossed the
He
stage.
just tossed it, and then it broke, and I was like,
Do you remember when he tossed the stage?
That was great. So that brings us to Goldberg versus The Undertaker.
Dick mode activated. All right, let's go.
So, the reports were that Goldberg was told, "Don't fucking headbutt the door," and then he headbutted the door.
Oh, please.
I think he headbutted the locker, which is technically not a violation of what they told him to
That's
do.
true. That's true. Well, he was told not to headbutt things because guess what happened the last time he did it? He fucking gave himself a concussion. So. They also said that this was the reason why his entrance took longer, was because he got stopped at Gorilla, checked out quickly, and told, "You need to fucking take it easy," and he proceeded to not take it easy. So much so
What the fuck?
that when the Undertaker tombstoned him, knocked him the fuck out.
Well, that's because Undertaker dropped him on his fucking head.
Yes.
Can we also just take a quick second to point out the fact that was it just me, or did Goldberg's music sound like a shitty 8-bit version of that fucking theme song?
It absolutely was.
They do some weird things.
That was fucking weird.
I mean, is it as egregious as them switching back and forth between his WCW and WWE themes?
No, and it's
Yeah,
not nearly
they
as
do that
bad as it's not nearly as bad as Ambrose having different music on his entrance and his exit with the
Yeah.
air horns. But
Yes.
but also, so a couple random things from this. Goldberg looked. I'm not gonna sit here and say fucking Goldberg looked out of shape, but compared to Goldberg standards, it looked like he had put on a few lbs that weren't, of the intentional variety, if you know what I mean.
Well, yeah.
And that's fine. But that speaks to me that this wasn't a long-term plan. This sort of must have come together fairly recently, because
Yeah.
last time he had his run, he made a point of, like, I spent 6 months in the gym getting myself back into shape,
Well,
and people remember me.
I think he was done. I think that
Yeah.
he did what he wanted to do. He was like, I'm good. My kid got to fucking watch me wrestle. He got to come in shirtless into the ring. I think he was, I'm good. This is great. This is a good way to end my career. Then they're like, hey, by the way, Goldberg, your rent is due. So,
Sunberg. Sunberg is still one of my favorite videos ever. Yeah, so, and then you get to the match. Now, Goldberg, So what's the thought on did he go hard way to that turnbuckle? Or was
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did.
He definitely did.
Okay,
It
'cause
seemed
my
like a fucking
take-
mistake.
So my take is he did the fucking headbutt on the door lock or whatever the fuck it was, busted his shit open. On the way out, they fucking stopped the bleeding. He nicked something and opened up that same cut because it looked like it was coming from the same fucking spot.
Yeah, probably.
Look, this was everything we had feared it would be when you announced
Yep.
two 50-year-old guys in 100-degree heat who hadn't worked in over a year. It was bad. It was unwatchable at points. It was dangerous at other points. Both guys are fucking fortunate that they're walking.
Yeah.
They tried to do a spot with Roman Reigns when The Undertaker faced him at WrestleMania, where they did the reverse tombstone.
Mhm.
And it didn't work with Roman fucking Reigns. So somebody went, you know that move that didn't work with Roman Reigns who's young and athletic? Let's fucking try it with a 50-year-old Goldberg who's stiff as shit.
Yep.
Shocker, didn't work. Didn't work at all. There were moments where you could just watch Goldberg, like Undertaker waiting for Goldberg to jump up into the tombstone. It was just fucking awful. It was terrible. The finish was a disgrace. You can go back and watch the Undertaker's face as he sits up after the 3 count, just pure
He
like.
was pissed.
And by the way, I've heard of a farmer's tan, but the Undertaker had the "I wore too many sunglasses" in Saudi Arabia tan because he looked like fucking what is that rabbit, the raccoon that steals shit, like Swiper. There you go. Had a little Swiper mask around his eyes.
Nice.
Swiper bird.
So,
I like that
Jason,
you call him a record. I think he's a fox.
Is he?
Whatever.
I think he's a fox.
Jason, I gotta ask you, dude. Do you blame Taker and Goldberg for this debacle? Because I don't. I don't understand.
Well,
you know,
okay, so it depends on your definition of do you blame them.
Yeah.
Do I blame them for what
the
happened?
in-ring work.
No, because they shouldn't have been in the ring.
Right.
Where I blame them is knowing they shouldn't be in the ring and still doing it.
Except
Because for a guy like Taker, who has always been so protective of his gimmick and his image publicly,
Yeah.
to go out at this point where he knows he cannot be the Undertaker anymore for a payday, to sort of diminish the memories people have of him as a performer for the sake of a couple bucks that he probably doesn't need, to me is just a bad look.
Yeah, but that's not surprising because he's been doing it for the past 3 Saudi shows. Like, he did it with Kane and Shawn and Triple H, and then he did it.
But on those shows,
Triple
he was
H
still in
in
WrestleMania
Australia.
shape. He still thought he was in WrestleMania shape at those points. They were coming off big events where he was competing. This year, he didn't even fucking think he was good enough to get on Mania,
Right.
but he still took this.
Yeah.
And again, if you tell me, okay, we're going to do this fucking match in Saudi Arabia with The Undertaker, get me Randy Orton. Because Randy Orton can sell enough of his shit. He doesn't have to bump for Randy Orton. No fucking problems.
No,
You
the
can
boss got Randy Orton, so.
you can make that shit work. You can't tell me, okay, we need to have a 50-year-old guy who couldn't bump when he was in his peak.
Right.
And now we're going to send him over there and work in 100-degree heat against The Undertaker, who can't work.
That's the thing too. Is I blame the WWE for putting Goldberg in this position because, and I understand they gave him a lot of money, but this guy's not in great shape.
Nobody forced him.
This guy, like you said earlier, this got dangerous. Like, he's trying to fucking worry for these guys' well-being.
Like, okay, so Undertaker has been doing this, what, 25 years? 26? Something like that? A crazy amount. Why wouldn't he have made the decision, once Goldberg hit that fucking ring post, go home? That's the part that confuses me about the whole thing, because he's smart enough to call that. Like, the guy was out cold in that corner, gushing blood, and why wouldn't you be like, all right, go the fuck home? That's the part that confused me.
The thing that confused me is why the fuck did we spend all the time doing this? I mean, I understand that.
Well,
No, because Ginger, here's the fucking start was hot. I actually liked the start with the spear right off the bat,
yeah.
followed by the second spear. Now you hit that second spear, Goldberg goes for the cover, 1-2. Undertaker kicks out. Goldberg's in shock. Goes back to the corner, gets set for another spear. As he charges in, Undertaker hits the big boot. Goldberg staggers around, picks him up. Tombstone, 1, 2, 3, go fucking home. That's it. That's the match.
Yeah.
And the crowd pops, and nobody has a fucking problem.
Right.
That's what they did with Lesnar and fucking Goldberg, and it
Yeah.
was brilliant. And
It was
worked.
great.
And it worked. You could have done that here. You chose to try to take these guys and make them have a 10, 12-minute match, and it was just bad fucking booking. And by the way, one thing I didn't even mention, he hits the shitty chokeslam. Undertaker hits the shitty chokeslam and the match. Goldberg puts his fucking leg up for Undertaker to hook it. He never hooks it, and Goldberg just leaves his leg sitting up in the air. Like, it's fucking awful.
So I heard some narrative this week of who put this match together. Was it Goldberg and Taker that was like, okay, we want to do this spot and this, and who at that point needs to step in and be like,
brother, nobody puts the Undertaker's matches together.
okay, then that's Taker's fault for not making it as simple as you had described initially. You know what I mean? Why do you have to, like you said, you're not even in there with Orton. You're in there with somebody who hasn't wrestled in years, and you have to get all this stuff in for what? Like, I don't get it. Like, and now and to me, it's funny that Taker looked all pissed off after the bell because, dude, really? Did you really think it was going to go better than that?
Oh yeah, every performer is going to think that they did, that it's going to. Well, we've already spent way too much time on this shit.
Yep.
Unless anybody's got something else to say.
Onward, Stallions. Onward.
Sorry, I was looking at porn. So that
Is
takes us
Stallion a code for my horse cock? Is
Yes.
that what we're
Yes.
talking about? Okay.
Kofi Kingston took on Adolf Ziggler, another match that we couldn't blow off. Because even though Kofi won, they'll be facing each other in a steel cage match.
All right. The only thing I got to say about this one, and I mentioned it in the host thread, and nobody really responded to it, but I got fucking seeds being planted for Xavier Woods turning in this scenario.
Yeah, but Dolph kicked him. Like, Dolph picked
But
a fight with
hold
him.
on. It's not even that so much. It's that he did that at a point where Kofi wasn't looking, so they did it in a way that Kofi didn't know that's why he won the match, which is always a sign of a heel turn, typically. But I'm talking even more about the promo, where he's backstage getting interviewed, and somebody asks Kofi a question, and he steps in and he says, "I'm here, I matter too." And
Oh, see,
that
I missed
to
that
me-
part. I
That
must
to
have missed
me
that
was
part.
planting seeds for a heel turn. That's a character arc of I feel like I'm being overshadowed and thrust to the background since you won that title.
Okay. All right, no, I retract them because I just saw the match. I didn't see the backstage, so that makes more sense now. But kind of going back to what Troy said in the host thread, I mean,
I don't think
There's
they're
a-
going to turn any of the new
that's what I mean. Like, there's way too much money still with merch that they're going to ever turn any of them heel, you know?
It will eventually happen, but
Well,
I always thought they'd eventually turn Cena heel too. So
yeah.
Right.
I don't foresee them turning those guys at all. So
I just don't think Vince is. Look, I know the New Day makes money. They don't make nearly as much money as they did a couple of years ago. Let's be real. But
That's a valid point.
But I also think that Vince doesn't hold that act in the same regard he holds John Cena in terms of national recognition. I don't think he views them as the you're getting mainstream action movies and spots on fucking Sports Center and hosting the Kids' Choice Awards. Like, it's a different level of performer in terms of public recognition that the New Day don't have, that I don't think Vince will be as protective of that gimmick.
But I also think that there's a good chance that those guys are fighting to not break up.
That's possibly valid, but again, that doesn't always fucking matter because American Alpha didn't want to break up either.
Well, neither did the
Right.
Shield, and the same thing happened with them. So, but again, like, I mean, would the timing be right? Yes. The timing is definitely right because you've got now they're no longer a cohesive team that are trading around tag belts. Now there's one guy who's the focal point.
Who's the WWE champion?
And the
Yeah.
other two
Well,
guys are just
but-
nothing. So.
Well, no, because now that you have the unit back together, Ian and Woods could go for the tag titles.
Right. But
it's still all about Kofi right now.
They probably want that WWE belt, though. So I think that might be your... I mean, you've got... Both of them have valid reasons. I mean, Big E continues to get fucking injured and taken out because he's been saving his buddy. And you've got Woods, who's sitting there now being like, hey, man, like... I've been the mouthpiece of this organization for a long time, and now all of a sudden you're the guy getting all the time. So
True, but you brought it up earlier that Finn Balor's one step away from being on 205. I don't think Vince thinks Woods is a guy who can carry a main event program.
I think Woods is too big for 205 Live, but sure, I understand.
No, but you know what I mean. Like I think that's
I mean,
why Woods
he's
turning
20 pounds of dick alone.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm with you on that. I mean, we've seen Big E as a heel, and all those runs have kind of petered out. We haven't seen Xavier Woods on the main roster by himself, really. You know, he was kind of around for a little bit and was instantly in the New Day as soon as he was up. So, yeah, I mean, we know that they're all talented enough. They all have the charisma and likability to be main eventers. It's just a matter of if they would be given that opportunity. And we all know the next WWE champion is Shane McMahon. So that took us to the 50-man Everyone Else Battle Royale, which was won by Saudi Arabia's own Mansoor.
You know Mansoor, don't you, Ginger?
Fuck off.
well, we don't know how to spell it apparently. So there we go. Okay.
I don't give a fuck. Jason and Jeff both finish the show with 8 correct answers.
Yeah. Who would have guessed I would pick Mansoor?
I know, right? Ginger and Sal with 7.
And in Ginger's defense, he didn't know who Mansoor was.
That's true. Adam with 5 and me with 4. So,
Wah.
wah.
You lost to Jeff and Ginger.
I know,
Jesus.
I lost to everybody. But again,
Wait, can
didn't get,
I say something about Mansoor?
I,
This was a great moment, like for him,
yeah,
and
I mean,
for
so
the
was,
people.
So was Zack Ryder winning the IC belt. You saw where happened that one.
So was Cesaro winning the End Trophy, the Giant.
Okay, but you know, I gotta say that this show, I felt like there were more like real wrestling fans in the crowd than their first show, where it was just a bunch of like of the Prince's friends.
Well, I think you're now on the 3rd year of them sort of being a part of the product and knowing that there's going to be shows there and being more engaged in what's going on as the show comes to town.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's exactly why they used a guy who wasn't booked on NXT leading up to this. And guess what? Spoiler alert for the TV tapings, he wasn't on those either. So that's a.
But
Neither
neither was Rick Boogs. So
That's true. That.
Look, I didn't say it was going anywhere. I said it was a good moment for this kid and for big pop. So good on him.
yeah, and it's old school booking. The local guy wins the battle royal. It's
Because it was literally for nothing. So they didn't even have a fucking trophy this time. Or a giant green
I wish he got the big green belt that Braun Strowman got.
I would love to see him battle Braun Strowman for the big green belt.
He'd go over.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. He probably would go over in probably a 10-minute match. And if we're
well,
talking...
the problem is somebody put the big green belt in the dryer and it shrunk down to a 24/7 title.
Yeah, he was trying to set up.
What's that?
He's trying to do a setup, but that's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't listen to you guys.
I noticed. So we started the perfect 10.
I'm sorry, Troy. I didn't mean to step on your dick there. I didn't know you were setting something up.
I don't give a shit. How many,
I saw an opening and I went for it.
Anytime I say the word 10, you should know I'm leading into the perfect 10.
I saw it a mile away.
Yeah.
But I still don't know who Mansoor is.
Something about tens, which leads us to.
So, if you haven't checked it out, there are now 2 different YouTube accounts that if you are a fan of AEW, you need to be following. One, of course, is Being the Elite. The other one is the Nightmare Family, which would be Cody Rhodes and Brandy Rhodes. So, on the Nightmare Family's YouTube, we've had 2 videos so far. We'll most likely get more. Called the Road to Fyter Fest. And the first video...
Not just to interject, because I've been putting these things over for a while. I know you guys are sort of new to the party on these, but they have been it's been Road to every event they've had. So originally it was Road to All In, and it was Road to Double or Nothing. Now it's Road to Fyter Fest, which I imagine next will be Road to Fight for the Fallen.
Right, so this is sort of, because of the fact that I don't have TV right now, this is their TV. This is the way that they are building these matches up and getting people pumped for them. And I can tell you, after watching these 2 videos, I'm pumped. You know, I mean,
I learned more about the character of Darby Allin in a
okay, all right,
5 minute.
Hold on. We'll get
I'm
there.
just saying,
We'll get there.
in a 5 minute skit on this 10-minute video than I have in 4 weeks of Aleister Black sitting in the back asking somebody to fight him.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So the way that these road to videos are sort of set up is that they play it as it's Cody Rhodes and a member of his staff watching these videos, which is interesting because then Cody sort of plays kind of an asshole. He doesn't 100% put the talent over, which is kind of funny, and it's usually the guy that's with him that is just like, okay. I mean, he's looking really, it's really entertaining because like Cody's so aloof about the talent he's watching, but really, like the real him is like, I'm so fucking excited for it, but yeah. So we start this one.
Well,
wait,
more on that. I don't want to step on your dick again. More on that. I'll get to my point later. Go ahead.
Because I'm trying to take it piece by piece.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Yeah, so we start off with this one by Cody talking about the Road to Fighter Fest and premiering a video that Kenny Omega put together, hyping this coming up here, complete with Kenny Omega doing the old 1990s like little kid like shaking his head with the thumbs up, which I thought was just fucking perfect, and his video editing skills is apparently just dropping beautiful women and wrestlers into the scene and having them move around a little bit, which I thought was like and Kenny is just he's really passionate about this stuff, and yeah, he's really excited, and they do put over obviously that he is a gamer and stuff like that. So anyone have anything to say about the first part of the first video here with like the quote of Kenny Omega and Cody Rhodes sort of hyping this event?
So I was just going to mention, because I know you didn't get a chance to watch The Road to Double or Nothing, but, it's kind of that's their shtick, and it's very similar to being the Elite Series, where, maybe Cody and his execs are, like, playing like they're actually at work or whatever, but then they'll react to these videos. The thing with the Double or Nothing was that Jericho would cut these quote-unquote shoot promos, and they'd go back to Cody, and they'd be like, Cody, you're right, and he'd just be like seething with like anger. But I think his reactions are, playing into whatever they're trying to do with the character that's on the video at that point.
Right.
I enjoyed the Kenny one.
Like, I appreciate that Sal's new gimmick is to take whatever we've just said and repeat it with different words.
That's
exactly. I know Troy didn't watch the Road to Double or Nothing.
No, that's not what he's talking about. He's talking about you repeating that I just said. Cody is playing a character with another staff member watching videos.
I know, but you said he was playing it heel. He's not playing it heel. He's playing off whatever he sees on the screen.
You don't think he's playing a little bit heel? All right. Well, no. I felt like he was playing a little heelish on thing because he's so sort of like dismissive of the talent. Anyway, so we move on from that to Jon Moxley doing his promo. This is very similar to the Moxley promos that we've gotten before his time in WWE. Still a little bit of that as well, where he's sort of manic, sort of can't sit still in them. Continues to play up the fact that I left Shawshank and it was a prison there, and here's me breaking out of it and stuff like that. The promo I felt was decent, but again, I'm going to probably harp on it a little bit later when we get to Joey Janela's portion of this. But we need to eventually move away from Moxley just being ex-WWE guy. He can be a character all of his own. Like Cody is not really ex-WWE guy Cody Rhodes. He's his own character there, So it's kind of annoying that you have this and Shawn Spears as both being like disgruntled ex-WWE guys.
See, there's the problem, because I get what they're going for with Moxley, and he showed up at the end of the pay-per-view, and this, that, and the other thing, but then when I watched Shawn Spears' video, and it's like, wait a minute, you're just doing the exact same shtick Moxley did, only you're not, doing weird head motions, and you're doing it, like, less? But, like, the whole shackles thing, like, do we really need that in the video? Because that's WCW levels of, like, let's beat you over the head with this.
Jason, you have something to say?
Can I talk? Well, you haven't gotten to the Sean Spears video from this week.
No,
that's the part.
That's the second video.
Yeah, and that's the part I wanted to talk about. But
Okay, well, we'll move on if you want.
yeah, that's fine.
All right. So after that, we get
Wait, are we excluding Ginger from the conversation because it's AEW and he doesn't fucking like it?
He doesn't seem to want to say anything.
I haven't seen anything, so
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
remember when I sent out that text to say, "Hey Ginger, you should watch Road to Fighter Fest because we're going to talk about it." That was me.
I missed that.
That was me prepping you for the fact we're going to talk about this. It's okay. It's fine. So I watched these back to back, so they're kind of blended together. That's the last.
That's pretty much it for the first episode.
We get Cody kind of talking about, So the second one then, we start things off with the bad boy Joey Janela, and he's got a casket behind him, and
he's in a funeral parlor.
He proceeds to run down. Moxley was, a WWE guy, and without saying it, and I didn't have a 18-year-old kid handing me scripts and stuff like that. It's this entire feud is built around the fact that Joey's upset that Moxley's an ex-WWE guy who came over, and Moxley's upset because he didn't make it in WWE.
Oh shit!
I know that was a pretty good burn, wasn't it? So let's talk about Janelle. Jason, do you have something to say about Janelle's promo, or would you like to recap us of what's going on in the Red Sox game?
No, it's a basketball game. Klay Thompson just almost pulled a Gordon Hayward, but yeah, not nearly as bad, but it looked like it was going to be.
I'm glad that the rest of these guys get to see what it's like with podcasting with you when there's a game on.
Listen, you're the one that fucking wanted to break down the fourth wall and tell people what was going on. Anyway,
you're the one who went. Oh, what am I supposed to do?
Maybe I just wanted to see if after I did that, Sal went. Oh!
Wow. Fucking glad he's back.
All right, Sal, do you have anything to say about Janelle?
I like the promo. And it goes to the whole, they were both deathmatch guys. Moxley was a deathmatch guy back in CZW, and Janelle, it's like, I've done more in the past whatever many years than you've done your whole career. So I thought Janela's promo was good. Okay. But
I like the little tag that like cuts away and then cuts back and he's in the casket. I like the little tag on the video. I thought that was entertaining. After that, we moved to Brandy Rhodes.
Can I just point out what I didn't like about the video?
Yeah, go ahead.
Since you fucking skipped over me.
Well, you were talking about wanting to make Sal make cum noises, so. What's up?
Oh, if I want, never mind. The thing that was missing for me from the video was Penelope Ford, because
of course she should have been in the casket.
That's the money for Joey Janela right there. Like, she's in the casket and he gets in on top of her and closes the lid or something. And I know it's cheesy and whatever, but that's the gimmick. That's who Joey Janela is.
See, they missed a perfect opportunity to make a Katie Vick joke.
Exactly. Exactly. Although now apparently they're not a couple anymore. Apparently banging Kip Sabian and putting it all over social media. So that's
Joey
killing the gimmick.
Banging Kip Sabian?
No, Penelope Ford.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, good on him.
Yeah.
Your name is Kip.
Well, it's his work name. I don't know if it's his real name. Yeah, the promo was fine. I will say, and this is sort of what I've been preaching to you guys about being the elite guys, the AEW guys. To me, we talk about the creative forces behind this promotion. It's the fact that they can get guys and angles over in these 10-minute fucking YouTube shows to the extent that 30,000 people are selling out arenas to see the angles play out. Like that, I think we undersell how fucking impressive that is.
It's very impressive. Because you can get hours of TV and not be able to get over. These guys are doing it. They're making a connection to the fan base, so most of them are.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, I don't know how you quantify that.
Right. So, I mean, reaction, that could go either way. Like
Well,
crowd noise. You know what I mean? But
We-
that could just be like, oh, they're the first match in the show. Let's
Right.
be loud. Like,
yeah. So obviously, Moxley versus Janela is already set up. We also have Adam Page versus Jimmy Havoc versus Jungle Boy versus MGF. We've got Christopher Daniels versus Chima. We've got Kenny Omega and the Bucks versus Pentagon Jr., Ray Fenix, and a partner to be named. We've got Michael Nakazawa versus Alex Jabali. And then what we had next in the video was Brandy Rhodes boringly talking about the the triple threat women's match between Yuka Sakazaki, Riho, and Nyla Rose. Maybe it's just my opinion, but she just was kind of boring talking about this. It didn't really hype me up for it. I don't know if it's the way that she talks, or if it's her voice or something like that, or what. But
I sort of like the, and it's a triple threat. I promise. No, I'm not
swear this
changing
time.
it.
I
It's a
swear.
triple threat.
Yeah, I enjoyed that, but like I said, I mean, a lot of the other thing where she was just talking about it was like, I don't even know if you're excited for the match. You know, like
yeah, she was trying to put the girls over, but she was kind of doing it in a very monotone way.
yeah. So
Just got old.
Yeah, to me, I feel like I understand that has to be her role because she's the leader of the women's division kind of thing, you know, even if she's not wrestling. But to me, like I said, it just kind of falls a little flat with her delivery on it. The match itself, I think, is going to be interesting. It's another chance to see, you know, how they're going to use Nyla Rose this time without Awesome Kong. And against obviously the two breakout women from the 6-woman tag match that we had before. So, but after that, then we get our Shawn Spears promo, and this is where Jason is going to want to talk. So, Jason, go ahead and talk about the Shawn Spears promo.
Well, the promo is basically like Shawn Spears talking about how he's yada 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 and why he left and they gambled on himself and this that and the other thing and all the stuff we've sort of heard before. The part to me was that this was them announcing the Shawn Spears signing, and then they cut to Cody, and Cody's talking about how he's excited to have him on board, and then he says he'll make a great coach or a player coach. And he's a good hand.
He's a good hand.
Does that sound like they're describing somebody they view as a top fucking guy?
Yeah.
So for all you fucking people out there who played once he gets there, he'll be a fucking main eventer. They'll know how to use him. They're gonna fucking use him the same way Vince did. They don't see him as a top guy the same way Vince didn't see him as a top guy.
Also, he's on this episode of Road to Fyter Fest. He's not on Fyter Fest.
Right.
He's not booked.
Yeah, but is there a bigger sort of backhanded compliment you can give a guy in wrestling than he's a good hand?
Good hand.
Because
you're basic, but see, that's the thing. Like, he is a good hit, but he's also very charismatic, and he can cut a good promo. Like, he is so much more than just a good. And if maybe this is setting up an angle with Cody, and maybe that's the plan. But Cody's got so many fucking angles going right now. I seriously doubt they want to have another fucking fuel in that fire.
Yeah. See now,
but,
and this is why I was saying that I felt like Cody was playing a heel, because if Cody's playing a heel during this, it makes 100% sense for him to try to keep Shawn Spears down. If Sal is right and he's not playing a heel, then he's just a dick.
Yeah, right.
I was shocked by it too, and even like the guy that was next to him was like, "Oh, I mean, yeah, he's a good hand, I guess."
Which is still more insightful commentary than anything Alex Marvez gave us. But you also
back, by the way, did you hear that?
No, he's not doing Fyter Fest.
No,
I know
but
that.
He's going to do All Out.
He's not. They said he might do Fight for the Fall, and we'll see how that plays out.
That's what he was probably going to come back for the next one. So.
Couple of AEW notes he did skip over. Fyter Fest will be streaming on Bleacher Report Live for free. That was a huge announcement. They are not charging for this event. This is very, very smart business by AEW because they are going to expand their viewer base by a ton. They hit the hype machine, got rolling with with Double or Nothing, and now rather than take a lesser event and try to charge the same for it, they're going to use the hype that they got from the first one to give away the lesser event like a fucking crack dealer giving you a free sample and then they're going to reel you in and get you hooked. And that's brilliant fucking marketing by these guys. And that's, again, these guys seem to hit a fucking home run with every PR marketing decision they make. So good on them. And the other thing you didn't mention, also announced for Fyter Fest, they're going to have a Fatal 4-Way with Hangman Page, Jimmy Havoc, MJF, and Jungle Boy.
Do you listen to the show, bro?
I
'Cause you
did.
totally said
I
that.
did announce that. I did say
I
that.
didn't catch that.
The only one I didn't say was Cody versus Darby Allin because I was leading into that next. But yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
said that.
My bad. I missed it. Okay.
So the other thing too was one of the things I was seeing with some of the tweets coming up.
Sorry. As it relates to that Fatal 4-Way, that was one of my issues, though. Adam Page is a guy who's in your match for the top championship.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a benefit of sticking him in a Fatal 4-Way with Jungle Boy.
Yeah.
Like, him being in that match seems to make him less important.
Well, I thought. I mean, just put him against MJF.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Right,
the thing.
right.
Like, we don't need this to be a Fatal 4-Way.
No.
It seems less than by the presence of Jungle Boy. And Jimmy Havoc's great, but his character's not built yet. You set up an angle with MJF. You can put the fucking title shot on the line between MJF and Hangman Page. And add a little something that you don't have a title, but you have a title shot at least on the line.
Yeah.
That was a blunder to me.
Yeah. So one of the things that I was seeing was people apparently were not getting the jokes that were being made in terms of this festival. I don't know if maybe they don't understand the reason why Fyter Fest is spelled that way.
You probably didn't see the Netflix doc.
Yeah, you probably didn't see the Netflix doc, but yeah, this entire event is mocking Fire Festival, which was a festival that was supposed to be put on with a bunch of influencers and different bands like that.
And Ja Rule.
And Ja Rule. And Blink-182. And then when the guy putting on the event wound up going to prison for defrauding people, the festival started falling apart, and a bunch of people started pulling out before the festival was finally canceled. So Jericho tweets out that he was upset that they were giving this away for free, so he was going to pull out. Of course, he was never booked, but people were like, oh, I can't believe Jericho's pulling out. And it's just like, you are not understanding that this is he's getting blasting out to everyone that this is free. Like he's advertising the show as like it's a free fucking show, but also like he's a heel, and yes, he's making fun of the original festival. So then Corey Taylor of Slipknot turned.
Yeah, sorry.
So
Go ahead, sorry.
Corey Taylor of Slipknot turns around and says, "I'm pulling out of Fyter Fest as well." And again, it's like he wasn't booked. Stop just taking it at face value and understanding they're making fucking jokes. Corey Taylor's response was almost verbatim of Blink-182's response when they pulled out of Fyre Festival. Like, and I don't understand how people are not getting this and are just like are thinking that it's completely real. Like, these guys are pulling out of this event. Like, no, you fucking idiots. They were never booked for the event. Go ahead, Jason.
We give Jericho a lot of shit on this show, but is there anybody better at convincing people that he's being fucking serious when he's badly working them?
I don't understand it at this point. Like, I have long since understood, don't believe a fucking word this guy says. Like, you know, and people are still like, they just fucking eat it up.
The one thing though, going back to the Fyre Fest comparison, you've ever heard the term the WWE bubble? Like, people who work in that company, they don't acknowledge or have any idea what goes on in the real world or outside any other wrestling company because everybody's just so focused in the WWE.
Sounds like a typical Mark thing that people came up with. Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like there's a lot of WWE fans that are the same way. Like, they probably don't have any fucking idea what Fyre Fest is, you know what I mean? Or what happened there. Or that Jericho's, like, joking about it. Like Ginger.
Yeah, but yeah, again, it's one of those cases of do a little research then.
Yeah.
You know, like, figure out, you know, take a look and see, like, was he ever booked? No, he wasn't. So... You know, and take a little fucking time to not instantly go and fucking post something on Twitter or Facebook or whatever like that, and actually do a little research if you don't fully understand what's going on in the event.
In his defense, Ginger thought it was Fyre Crotch Festival, a convention for gingers.
No.
So the last part of the video then was a promo and explanation of who Darby Allin is. So I did not know this about Darby Allin. but he tells a story of his dad being in a car accident while Darby was in the car and his dad dying. And then he explains that the reason why he paints half of his face as a skull is because half of him is dead inside. So I thought that was great. And then he sort of builds from there and continues to go on about why he does what he does, and like he's finding like the passion and his life in wrestling. And then so part of it he's sitting on like a really ornate chair, which I liked. There's a shot in this video.
Did that really ornate chair have a big cross on the back and some skulls around? Okay.
No. So there's a shot in this chair that really sells me on like the production value of this and the vision that they have. And it's Darby is sitting in the chair and there's somebody laying down on the floor next to him, and that person sits up and it's Darby Allin with half his face painted while the normal him with no face paint is sitting in the chair. And I thought that was so fucking cool, like to have him like rise up out of the ground while he's talking and then the other one of them get up. That it really shows like how much talent these guys actually have, how much vision they actually have to be able to come up with shots like that. And there was a lot of really cool shots of Darby Allin where he's like, he's just showing the one side of his face that's painted and like slowly turning, and just like his normal eye is kind of looking out. Just I thought really fucking well done. But you two over there that actually seen this, Sal, what were your thoughts on Darby Allin's video here?
So, full disclosure, I wasn't familiar with Darby Allin other than a name, and this video was my first introduction to him, and it was great because it's exactly what a first introduction should be. Mm-hmm. I learned a little bit about his backstory. I learned why he looks the way he does, and I'm intrigued. Okay. So it literally hit all the fucking checkpoints, and I don't know what this guy can do in the ring. I've never seen him in the ring, but I'm definitely gonna watch because there's something there that's drawing me to want to watch.
Mm-hmm. Jason,
I've been a fan of Darby's for a while. Like I said earlier, I sort of jumped the gun on it, I guess. They managed to sell me on this character and introduce me to this character and bring me into this character's world in a 5-minute clip in a way WWE can't do in months of vignettes anymore. And that's just an incredible credit to that staff over there.
You're saying that you're not really excited about Damian Priest off that one little promo video?
NXT's different. NXT is a different beast. We talk about that all the time.
I suppose.
Yeah, and I didn't mind the Damian Priest promo video. I heard you guys talk about it on Visit. It was fine. It's a different look for him. It's we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, I just
what did come out this week that wasn't quite so good was the did you see the Killer Cross thing? Anybody?
Okay. I hope you're not going to talk about what's number 8 on our list right now, unless you want to segue to that.
No, not really.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I mean, I don't know what the issue is, but Killer Cross released a video on social media this week, basically almost like he's an undercover cop, and he goes to the same bar Ambrose shot his thing at and basically says, without saying the name, that he's looking for Jon Moxley.
Oh, okay.
So they're clearly building to something. Now, whether it's in AEW, whether it's an Impact, I don't know where the fuck they're going to have this match, but they're clearly working together to build something.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, so the other aspect we've got to talk about with AEW before we move on to an Impact story is All Out has booked Jon Moxley versus Kenny Omega.
Shocker.
So I know, shocker. Ginger, does that make you want to watch All
Out? Not really.
Okay, I figured as much. Sal, what are your thoughts on Moxley versus Oshmegma?
It's the natural progression of the story they told at the end of Double or Nothing. Obviously, I don't care. I was going to watch All Out anyway. And, it's not immediately around the corner, so I'm kind of glad that we don't get any back and forth between Kenny and Jon Moxley, even on the, being elite videos or anything like that. It will play out in August, and I'm fine with that. I don't think
They're going to do something at Fyter Fest.
Yeah.
probably, but I don't think Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley is going to set the wrestling world on fire. Although, I will say I was very surprised at how good his match with Juice Robinson in New Japan was.
I was
Because
going to say, have we talked about the fact that he won the New Japan United States?
we have not. We have not talked about it. And to me, Jon Moxley put on an intriguing match with Juice, and both these guys put on a match that I thought was really good. And
Now,
to
did
be
you watch
honest,
the whole match or just the clip of the...
No, I watched the whole fucking thing.
Okay.
And I was
The
surprised.
entire
because there was
Dominion show is fantastic, by the way, if anybody...
I haven't watched the whole show yet. I did just watch that match, but I was
Kenta
surprised because these
making
guys
his
were going
return.
at each other.
Yeah, I know that a lot of people were focusing on the suplex on Kota Ibushi and how it almost broke his neck. And they seem to focus on that one aspect of the match and say that, like, I saw people throwing out hyperbole like, you should not cheer this match because it's everything that is not good about wrestling if these people are that, like, willing to break their necks for it and stuff. It's like, it was one move in the match. The rest of the match was phenomenal. And guess what? That move didn't go the way it was supposed to. He didn't intentionally try to fucking break his neck or make it look that way. Like, it was so weird to see some of the people, like, just attacking, like, the entire show for that one move. And it's, it's like, these are the same people, mind you, that say that, like, WWE is boring because everyone's so safe. Like, you can't.
You know what's fucked up? I think New Japan has gotten this rep where they're, recklessly violent for what?
Wrong style.
Yeah, but like when you think about what happened with Shibata, right? And all of a sudden, everybody on the internet blew up and was like, "Oh, they're so fucking dangerous over there. They're gonna kill each other. They're gonna give each other concussions, and they're gonna be, ending their careers." Like, look, this shit happens. I saw shit at Takeover that could have fucking ended someone's career. Let's be honest.
They should learn from Danny Burch. So anyways, because we're not talking about New Japan, let's talk about a story that came out. Killer Cross was on P.D. Williams' podcast, I think it was on, and he said that part of the reason why they wanted out of Impact was because Impact was underpaying their talent so much so that Scarlett Bordeaux had to move back in with her mother and was working a part-time job just to survive.
Yikes.
Hashtag stripper.
Hashtag stripper. Now this is by far not the first time we've heard that Impact underpays their stars. Early in time, one of their women's champions, Tara something or Taya, not Taya Valkyrie, but someone with a T name.
Miss Tessmacher?
No.
I like how Ginger came
Taylor
alive
Wilde?
just for that.
Huh?
Taylor Wilde.
Taylor Wilde.
Yes.
Apparently fans found Taylor Wilde working at the Sunglasses Hut in the mall because she wasn't making enough money at Impact, and she was their champion of the women's division. And apparently this happened even when they had the money to throw around, when it was Panda Energy and stuff like that. They were spending obviously a shit ton of money for the WWE guys, but the independent guys and the lesser known people were getting paid like bullshit wages.
Also, every other indie company in the country.
Every other indie company with a TV deal,
So their TV deal is...
doesn't matter. They have
But it's still a
TV
TV deal.
which
No.
means that they are not able to.
No. Fuck this. No, fuck. Because this is a thing I hear all the time.
Okay.
And this is not unique to Impact. This is a thing in professional sports in general. You didn't like the fucking contract, don't sign it.
Right.
Well, yeah.
You looked it over. You knew what you were going to be making. You agreed to those terms. Fucking ride out the contract. When your contract's up, if you want to negotiate new terms for more pay that you like better, by all means, fucking go ahead. But what this is this is another one of these cases, and again, like I said, I keep drawing a comparison to sports. We see this shit all the time. Well, you're using me more, and I'm more over, so you should renegotiate and pay me more. Like, okay, if you were shitting the bed and you weren't over, does that mean we could pay you less? No.
No, you'd be clinging to, I have a contract.
Right.
Oh.
So You knew what the terms were when you signed the contract. Don't go out there and then bitch about the fact that they're only paying you what they agreed to pay you. When they stop paying you what you signed the contract for them to pay you, then you have a complaint. That's just my take on it.
See, and I'm hoping that because they just recently signed those contracts, and obviously the hope has been with AEW coming around that it was going to mean a lot of these independents were actually going to have to start paying guys more. So that's what my hope is that these guys that are breaking their backs to put on the show and stuff like that they should be getting more wages and better contracts offered to them. I understand what you're saying about these guys sign the contracts, but new people coming in should not still be making these piddly ass wages, especially when you had a company like Impact that had all that fucking Panda Energy money and was willing to dish out so much fucking money to WWE guys.
So, go ahead. Sorry, I don't want to forget my train of thought here because you made a point that I want to, because this is very reminiscent to me of the American Werewolves, Davey and Eddie
Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards.
Because, and I don't think they did a complaining about pay, but at the time I heard rumblings that they wish they were making more. But the point is to say, Killer Cross had WWE interested in him. He was working for Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
He had Ring of Honor interested in him. He chose to go to Impact, and his logic being there was a better chance for more exposure in that company.
Yeah.
Valid point. That's the same thing the Werewolves did. They thought they would have a better shot to be stars in
You keep
Impact.
calling them the Werewolves.
The Wolves, whatever. They thought they had a better chance to be stars in Impact than they did in NXT. And NXT wasn't quite what NXT is now at that point. But notwithstanding, the thing is that you make that decision. That's a personal choice where you sit down and you say, what is more important to me right now? To work for the big company that pays more, or to work for the smaller company where I can get more exposure, and then maybe down the line sign for more money with that bigger company.
Yeah,
you make that decision, you have to live with it.
Yeah, it goes back to how everyone on the internet gets all fucking up in arms because, I can't believe, why would the club want to sit there and continue to work for WWE and not being used? Because they get paid a shit ton of fucking money, dude.
Right.
And they don't have to live off fucking bologna and ham sandwiches. Like,
And they can live in America with their family.
yeah, exactly. Too.
Exactly.
It's like, yeah, I wonder why there's still a shit ton of people on the indies that want to go work for WWE because they get paid.
Ginger.
And it's the same kind of. I mean, people were sitting there and shitting on. You got Joey Ryan who's sitting there and going, I make all this fucking money on it. That's all fine and dandy that you're coming out and saying that and stuff like that. But how legit is that actually? How much money are you really making, and are you just using that as an excuse why you don't want to work for WWE because you don't want to come out and say I don't want to work for him? Everything's got to have a reason. It could just be that the people enjoy working the indies and they enjoy sleeping on people's couches. I don't know,
man. I think Joey Ryan probably makes a lot of money.
That's fine. But Ginger, I got a question for you.
What's up?
When you worked and you were a worker on the indies, did you ever make enough that you could quit your day job?
God, no.
Now, if somebody offered you...
Did you ever make enough that you could take your family to a nice dinner?
Yes,
Maybe
one time. One time.
Okay, now if somebody offered
Welcome
you...
for the house.
Chuck E. Cheese, baby.
If somebody offered you a 1-year deal where you could make enough for that year to not work a day job, maybe save a little money, and you decide to take it, would you then bitch later on that, hey, this guy's making more, I wish I should be making that money?
Well, I mean, obviously not, but it depends if it covers all my financials. Because you have to think about do I have to move to that place? Do I have to travel back and forth each time? But if it was completely covered, 100% travel and all that shit, yeah, I'd take that job.
And that's the thing. You would think about all that before you put your name on the dotted line. And then once you signed, hey, I'm making this amount and I'm happy.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Just remember, we're also talking about wrestlers and talking about people such as Leo Rush saying he doesn't make enough money when he makes six figures. You know, so
Fuck him.
you know, yeah, maybe Scarlett's got to go live with her mom and be a stripper because the $100,000 they're paying her doesn't pay for all the coke that she puts into her. You know, you don't fucking know. We don't know.
Oof, bold statements.
But the
again,
thing is,
like-
what was Scarlett making before Impact? Because I guarantee you she wasn't making much at all. What was she in your local, like, fucking Cincinnati indie show? Like,
I mean,
I don't seem to remember Scarlett being on TV.
She was probably making like $50 a hand, so
Probably.
she's got two of them.
Well,
So
being in the indies, women get paid more. Like if you're just like a, guy like me compared to a female that was doing the same,
yeah,
style that I was, like getting booked all the time, but every once in a while, the female 10 times out of 10 is gonna get more money than I would.
yeah, more money.
Because
more
there's
power.
less
Right
of them.
now.
All right, so speaking
Because there's less of them.
Even though
There's
Ginger has
35
bigger
freaking-
tits in a lot of cases.
speaking of a good opportunity to make some money, recently it was making the rounds in Vancouver that WWE and Netflix were looking for extras that live in the Vancouver area that are pro wrestlers to come and be extras on apparently a movie that they're making called WWE The Main Event. Now, the money that they were offering was a 3-day.
There you go, Scarlett. There's job opportunity for you.
So it was a 3-day shoot. There was no guarantee that you were going to work all 3 days, but if you were going to work the day, it was guaranteed 8-hour pay, even if you were working under that, and it was working for $34 an hour. And you were able to get overtime if you went over 8 hours. Now, obviously, there was a costume deposit fee and a $100.50 fee, but essentially what it turned out to was if you got hired for one of the days as an extra, which extra work isn't that hard, you were going to make somewhere in the vicinity of like $800. So that's a lot of
Sign
fucking
me
money.
up.
But more importantly,
Nice.
so I don't know if this is still the plan or if this is still the plot of this movie. But reportedly, the original plot, again, like I said, I don't know if it's changed or not, is the WWE The Main Event is a movie in which a child, I don't know of what age, proceeds to get superpowers from eating cereal, and then becomes a professional wrestler.
Okay, not what I read, but that's fine.
Okay, go ahead and say what you read then.
Okay, according to a report from PW Insider, WWE Studios' first project associated with Netflix, The Main Event, features a plot that has a young boy who is constantly bullied but has dreams of growing up to be a WWE superstar.
Okay.
I don't know about the cereal and superpower part, but I'm sure maybe it ties in somewhere.
I mean, that would be how he stops being bullied, right?
Yes.
I mean,
Also, will feature small roles from Sheamus, The Miz, and Bray Wyatt. So good on them. They're getting a payday too.
So I mean, I don't know which one is correct, but that's, like I said, that is what I had read. Still could be the same thing. I mean, it's still a kid that's going to become a wrestler, so I don't know if the superpower thing is yet taken out. Like I said, I mean, that was what was reported before. That's that they could have easily rewritten it to take the superpowers out and just make it, fucking kid. So
So it's like Mike or Rookie of the Year with WWE.
exactly,
Yeah.
And it's a Netflix movie, and Netflix will just throw money at everything. So, and of course,
Except Marvel.
except Marvel, yes.
Now, this brings up an interesting question, though, because with
Why
WWE
would
having
they cancel Luke Cage when it was a really good show? I agree. That does bring up a very
well,
good question.
well, that's for a different episode. But with WWE having their own network, why
money,
partner with
Money.
Netflix?
money.
Sure, but isn't it
Exposure.
cheaper to
No,
put it on your own
no,
network than to
because-
partner with them?
because guess
No,
who pays
because
for the
Netflix
production?
will cover production
Yeah,
costs.
guess who pays for the production
Okay.
in that? Netflix does. The only thing WWE is providing is the talent and their name.
Oh, I didn't know if WWE Films was providing the production, so
No,
and they were
because
just using Netflix as a distributor.
No, because it's Netflix. It's a Netflix
Okay.
movie, so Netfllix pays for all the production. So that's what. Yes, it is very fucking cost effective for them to make this movie because not only do they get that, but they also get residuals off of it, and they know and they're going to get because it's a licensing agreement. So essentially, Netflix is licensing the WWE name and all of the things involved with it. So they're going to get checks sent to them regularly.
Yeah, and to that point, Sal, go watch any of those movies. It's WWE films in association with so and so production.
Yeah.
Production.
So
Yeah, no,
there's
okay.
always another
I got
production
it.
company.
Yep. Yeah. So WWE Films is essentially just like all of their rights and all of their you have access to our talent. You can go ahead and pick whichever one you want. We're going to try to get Roman Reigns in there, but if you don't want him, we've got a bunch of the other guys too.
We want the Big Show.
Yeah.
Put him in a diaper.
But that's why these ones are able to have Halle Berry and stuff like that, because it's WWE is only just putting their name on it, and then they're like, here, you can have Halle Berry, but we're also going to give you this guy over here. So put him in there too. Just find a place for him.
I heard The Call was actually a good movie.
I don't
never
give a
saw
shit. So the other news.
It was no Marine 17, but
So we sort of talked about this on NXT Revisited yesterday, but there was some reports coming up that the FS1 was going to have a show talking about WWE, specifically the entertainment section of it, not the wrestling, because nobody cares about that. But yeah, that they were going to have a Pardon the Interruption type show, or a Sports Center type show in regards to WWE, and that Renee Young was a leading candidate to host it. So we kind of got me and Ginger talking about it, but I wanted to hear from you two guys in regards to, what would make you tune in to a talk show about WWE on FS1. Ginger, no, sorry, Sal.
What would make me tune in? I mean, it would have to be really entertaining for me to actually
Thanks.
watch more than the first episode of it. Because to me, what it sounds like is bring it to the table. But instead of having Peter Rosenberg, it's much safer Renee Young. So it doesn't sound interesting. It doesn't.
I even asked. Jason. Dead air. Great for
we
podcasting.
have no.
You're
I'm
building up to it.
formulating-
Okay. All right.
Yeah, no, I'm formulating my response here. We all bitched when they took Talking Smack off the air. That's what this would be.
Yep.
It would be Talking Smack with a higher profile.
Yeah.
If you get the right co-host, and we said at the time, Talking Smack was really at its best when Daniel Bryan was on there.
Yeah.
So it does matter about the co-hosts, but we've already watched this show before, and we all liked it.
Yeah.
So this is an extension of that as far as I'm concerned.
But will it be entertaining?
Who is the other co-host with Renee?
Right.
Yeah. But will it be entertaining? Anyways.
If you put Bray Wyatt up there, Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt up there with fucking Renee Young, yeah, that shit's gonna be entertaining.
Yeah, and if you put Michael Cole up there, it will not be.
Michael Cole won't be up there, dude.
Michael Cole would not work anything more than he's already doing. He has already said he doesn't even want to be on the show anymore. He's not going to turn around and be like, I'm going to be on this too.
On FS1? I don't know, man. That's a big deal.
No, if it's Sam Roberts, then no, that's not gonna be good.
Yeah.
But
Right.
if it's The Miz, for example,
Sure.
just off the top of my head, as a person that I think would be great in that role. What
Would you watch it if it was Corey Graves?
is there anybody whose star has fallen further than Corey Graves? Think of how enamored we were with Corey Graves when he came up from NXT.
What's up with his hair now? He just...
You just shaved it off.
Yeah.
He just likes to. It's like his gimmick. He changes his
Yeah.
haircut drastically every now and
I
then.
get it. Okay, so...
Plus, Carmella prefers it that way.
I don't really want to do the rest of these Perfect 10 because we still have trivia and it's already at 10:30. Let's.
You can just spin through it.
Yeah,
Let's.
Hey, so the Revival won the tag titles
so
this
the
week.
Revival-
Yes.
Good on them. We're glad that.
Are you happy now? You were so critical of how they've been used.
Am I
Troy?
happy now? No.
No.
Because guess what
Okay.
happened the last time they won the titles? They lost every
They
fucking
lo-
match after they won it, and then they lost to the fucking loser tag team out there. Okay.
But now they're two-time tag team champions.
But now, whoa,
Don't
but
give
now
a
they're
shit. They
heel.
have to do something to
No. But
Yeah,
now
they're
now they're heel tag team champions in a division that has the Usos and the Viking Raiders there for them to work with.
Who?
Yeah, exactly.
I know.
But-
I know one of those teams. The other one, I didn't quite catch.
Yeah, they're not. Check out main event this week. You'll find them.
Oh,
Not kidding.
I don't know where I can find that on my
I'm literally not joking. That's the sad part.
I know, right?
Um,
Yeah. Well, so we're seeing, because the other thing too is that the rival is now sort of teamed up with Shane McMahon, and anyone who's teamed up with Shane McMahon definitely doesn't lose.
well,
and
I'm
it's on
sure-
TV 3/4 of
It
the
is on
fucking
TV
shows.
a lot.
Yeah.
I would like a more clearly established sort of group for Shane here, because I love the notion of Shane, Drew, the Revival, and maybe even Elias as sort of like this new, dangerous alliance kind of deal.
Yeah. The Revival right now sort of feel like the New Age Outlaws before they officially joined DX, where they were like
Which is fine.
on the
Which is
perimeter and
fine.
stuff like that. But
Well,
yeah, we need to
and
actually
let-
have it be something.
And let's not forget, it wasn't but like a couple weeks ago that the B team were backing up Shane. So
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
Valid
it's
point.
not. It hasn't been exclusively the Revival. So
Right.
I would like.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying. I'd like to see a more sort of formed version of who this group is.
Also,
And-
like
and-
Baron Corbin and Bobby Lashley are teaming up with Drew sometimes too. So
But they haven't been
Fuck
seen
off.
with Shane. That's the key.
well,
Shane's
that's
the money.
thing, like, who's Drew loyal to? Because he bounces back and forth. Even after he
Drew-
joined up with Shane, he was
Drew
still
is loyal to Shane. I promise you that. Now, if the Revival can continue being in segments with him, that's only good for the Revival, I guess.
But Shane, like I said, your future WWE champion.
By the way,
Uh,
is at the end. That was the swan song for Ryder and Hawkins. There, we won't
Yeah.
see them on.
Yeah, they'll
anymore.
be done.
They'll most likely be the Major Brothers coming to your local independent
Probably.
promotions coming soon.
They'll be
Venrick-
on. Sorry, go ahead.
John Venrick, there needs to be follow-up. The titles haven't been on TV in forever. Yes, trust me, we all agree with you, John. Trust us.
All
We're
right.
If
just
you want,
hopeful that
if you
they
want to
start.
follow the Major Brothers, go check out next week's edition of the Road to Fighter Fest, where they'll tell us that they're good hands.
Yep. So the other issue that I had this week was 24/7 Championship again. Because here's part of my issue here. R-Truth is still champion. And he's now a 5-time champion, and he is the only guy who has held a championship more than 20 minutes.
Yep.
He continues to lose the belt and then gain it back before the end of the show. That's not how this championship is supposed to go. It's not supposed to be the R-Truth championship. It's supposed to be a way for all of these guys to get a little bit of a rub, and they've just randomly throw guys into a group now, and then R-Truth winds up being the star of the division, and you've got all this other fucking. You have Cedric Alexander literally sitting right there, and you can't have him
Oh.
do anything.
He was stuck in an elevator for a good chunk of Raw, so
That was stupid too. Yes, I'm not saying the segments were terrible. There was a lot of really funny moments between Drake Maverick, EC3, and R-Truth and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, if there was no 24/7 championship, EC3 would not know he was the best man in Drake Maverick's wedding.
Yes, yeah.
Facts.
So, like I said, I enjoyed those kind of things, but that's the issue though, is that then they spill out of the elevator, and he still fucking retains the championship and runs.
Oh God.
And it's like, why can't you end a show with a different champion? If you want to have him get it back on SmackDown, that's fine. We have the wildcard rule. Clearly, we don't care about how many people are the fucking wildcard at this point.
You know what I don't get is that last week I thought they did a great job on social media of doing stuff outside of the main roster programming, and then on Tuesday night they killed it. They put out Truth in the box and they said, "Oh, he's going to Raw." So literally, he's not getting out of that box for the next 6 days.
Right. Yeah.
So this topic, I think we've beaten to death. Can we talk about the real biggest topic of the week? Since
Well, before we have that, this actually segues us to our new segment, the known piece of shit Todd Sopel Dick of the Week. Because during the 24/7 segment, the winner of this week's inaugural known piece of shit Todd Sopel Dick of the Week is Derek Moore. Who's Derek Moore, you ask? That would be the African American referee that came in towards the end of this. And when R-Truth was trying to get back into the elevator, Derek Moore was blocking EC3 from even attempting to get in there and pin him. So, dick move, Derek Moore.
but hey,
Dick move,
brother's been held down by the man. They got to stick together.
I suppose.
I was wondering why you
Okay,
had that ref in there.
So can I now talk about the biggest part of the week?
Oh, we're going to talk about Bray?
No, we're going to talk about the outfit Alexa Bliss wore on Raw.
Oh.
Because goddamn.
Well, Alexa's always.
And that's why she won the fucking tournament, baby.
No, Sal. She's always great. This was the greatest outfit she's ever worn on television.
Good Lord.
Did you watch Raw on
SmackDown's was
I
pretty
saw
nice,
her.
too.
Yeah, I was gonna say she looked great on SmackDown too, man. I don't know.
yeah, but she was next level on Raw this week.
Hot damn.
Doing fantastic.
She's a perfect time for me every time.
Wait, which one? Was it Raw or SmackDown where she wore the pink top with the tight leather?
SmackDown.
Okay, then that's the one I'm talking about.
That was
Okay.
That's
Raw.
the one I'm talking about.
Raw was good too, but that pink top was just like,
Yes.
Jesus fucking Christ, lady. Dude, there are children in the audience that you just made go through puberty, alright? It's like, you can't do that to
gonna
people.
say.
In a matter of fucking 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Turning boys into men, one boy at a
How
time.
many how many sock children is she responsible for?
Too many.
So that
On my
brings,
side.
so that brings us to, as Jason put it, the Firehouse Funfly, Bray Wyatt. So
The road to Firehouse Funfly.
So I had brought it up in the host thread, and no one really said anything about it. But I felt like this was maybe a little bit weaker of a Funhouse than we've had in the
Really?
past. Not that it was bad. They've
Disagree.
all been good, but I just felt, I mean, it was weird.
Strong disagree.
What's that?
Strong disagree.
Okay. But with this one here, Bray proceeded to get into a fight with Rambling Rabbit. And then out of nowhere has a giant fucking mallet.
Well, why
Well,
did he get into
yeah,
a fight with them?
Did you
Oh,
miss
sorry.
that part?
I'm trying
Because
to
yeah.
remember. Hold on. I'm trying to remember why you got in a fight with him.
Rabbit said maybe I should just tell everybody what's
yes.
really going on
Really
here.
going
at
on
Funhouse.
here,
Yeah.
and that's when Bray snaps.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yep. So apparently, we know the Fiend, but apparently there's something else going on that we didn't know about. So, and this was like the first time that they've really come out and said that, because we've had it before where like the witch says like, I want to leave purgatory, let me out. So it's
Yeah.
like there's clearly like they've been dropping little hints that like something else is going on under the surface there, other than just his clown character that's lurking around. But yeah, so Bray proceeds to deal with this in the best manner possible, and that is destroying the rabbit with a fucking mallet, then proceeding to eat his brains. And then all of a sudden,
I don't know, was it the brains or it was just the blood?
I was gonna say he just kind of licked the blood off his hand. He didn't actually get a spoon and start like eating brains out of his head. Although that would have been kind of cool.
watch it again. It looked chunky to me. It looked like it was supposed to be his brains because he hits him in the head. He
There's your
repeatedly
show title.
smashes him in the head. No, that's not the show. Anyways, he
Fire Fun Flyhouse is probably.
that's what I've got that written down. So he then proceeds to somehow have already gotten it bottled and is now selling it to all the fans out there. But yeah, so and then
But
of
there
course
was the subtle things too, like the return of the hurt and heel gloves, which I
Yes.
thought was
Yep.
great.
Yep.
And he grabs the rabbit with the hurt glove.
Yes.
Like
Yep.
Yeah,
I
'cause-
thought there was a ton of very good subtle things thrown in here. Yeah, I mean, if you want to sit there and talk about it, it was just as the rabbit getting, squished, blah blah blah. Yeah, sure. But if you look below that direct surface to some of the stuff they're setting up, I thought it was a fantastic.
Well, and
vehicle.
we had sort of talked about the gloves too, where it was like, is he going to use this as like his way of casting judgment on people? And it definitely was, because he put them both on the side of his head and was like, which one's it gonna be? And you're like, and then it started at first, it was gonna be heel, and then it turned to hurt. So,
When they first started, the rabbit first started talking. He started arguing, I think, with the buzzard, correct? And didn't Bray say something to the effect of, "Do you want me to get the Fiend?"
Yes.
And they were all like,
Scared.
"Ooh!" Like, so that, I mean, obviously he's running some type of a torture fucking
Yeah, well-
house there, but
like I said, Abby has pretty much said that he's keeping her there against her will. So
she's like, "Help! Help me! Help! I need
Yeah.
to get out!"
So the fact that now he's shutting up his friends, quote unquote friends, with giant mallets. Now, again, this is the second time that this character has died on screen, so we'll see if he comes back again next week. Because the first time he got eaten, so and they even had him in memorial.
Just get turned into sauce.
Yeah. So I don't It'll be interesting to see if he comes back, because then that might be something too. That like they are really in purgatory, like Abby has said.
So
They can't
I
die.
might be incorrect, but I feel like we are 1 or 2 episodes away from this entire story being like either unveiled or in ring or some type of big climax, for lack
Yeah,
of a
the
better word.
culmination of it.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're close.
I could see it at Happy Feet. I could see that for sure as being a place that they have something go on with it. Then build towards like a SummerSlam matchup with somebody.
Right.
But yeah. So, do we want to talk about the main event, or do we want to go into trivia? I'm going to leave it to Jason because I didn't have a main event originally.
I let popular opinion. I'm the new guy.
Trivia.
Trivia. I gotta be up in 5 hours.
Okay.
I don't know.
Trivia.
Well, I don't know if trivia is going to be faster than this. So
Well, we're
Well,
doing,
I'd rather not do this
that's what
than
I'm saying.
trivia.
It's either we're doing both or we're doing only trivia.
Yep.
So,
Trivia.
I feel like we've already talked about Becky Lynch floundering.
Yep.
Spoiler
all
alert.
right. Well, then fuck y'all. I'm not defending my title then.
Okay, that's fine. Then I guess it's just a two-person trivia, so you can go.
No, it's just a non-title match.
Why are you protesting this? Anyways, all right.
Because
So
we had this great debate about this topic on the host thread this week, and now we're not going to just we're taking one of the better debates we've had all week and not giving it to the fans. But that's okay, guys.
We'll do it next week.
Okay.
We'll have less to talk about. We won't have a giant fucking Saudi Arabian show to talk about. So,
That's true.
all right. So, same.
Fucking Jedi.
Oh, disapproving Troy face.
All right. So.
Oh, I know it will.
So same general idea as last time. We're going to start off. Now this is going to be shorter trivia because anyway we had a lot to talk about. But we are going to start with our round table of guessing people, then move on to a couple of questions. So this time we're going to start off talking about the WWE Tag Team Championships. Now,
Oh, go.
this is not the World Tag Team Championships that Demolition won and were retired in 2010. This is what is the current Raw Tag Team Championships. Understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone good? Okay. What superstars, single guys, not full tag teams, what superstars have won the WWE Tag Team belts when they were the WWE Tag Team belts and the Raw Tag Team belts? Understand?
As a unit, like what team singles guys have teamed up, or just
Just some of
Just
these
a
guys. Some of
superstar.
these guys are teams. Were teams both times, but other ones were a team with somebody else, and then a team with somebody else. So it's who single guys
So name a superstar that was Raw Tag Champ and WWE Tag
and
Champ.
WWE Tag Team Champion. Yeah.
Okay.
okay.
Okay. Ginger, do you understand that?
Yeah, I'm just thinking already.
Okay. All right. We're going to start with Jason.
The one that jumps to my mind immediately is Kofi Kingston.
You are correct. Sal.
Jimmy Uso.
What was that?
Jimmy Uso?
Incorrect.
Really?
Yes.
Jimmy Uso never won the WWE Tag Team title.
No. They won the Raw Tag Team belts.
No, but even before that.
No.
Nope, they were never the WWF.
Right. Ginger.
Throwing this out there, Evan Bourne?
Incorrect. Evan Bourne was not around when the brand split happened. Jason.
The Miz.
Incorrect.
That's not true. He held one with Morrison and he held one with Big Show.
And those were both WWE.
No, one was Raw, one was SmackDown.
No, it was-
He's talking about Raw since 2016, the brand split. Raw Tag Team, the red belts.
correct.
Oh, okay. Fuck them. All right.
And again,
Oh,
I
shit.
still think the
Okay.
Usos were tag team champions.
Well, fuck. Then
before
can I have that pick
2016.
back? Then I would like my pick back.
Hold on, I have to prove that Sal, despite the fact that I went through this whole thing.
And then I can have my
is
pick back, right?
incorrect. I understand if you didn't understand it. Okay, it was different. Okay. So, Raw Tag Team Champions, because that's the lineage that we're looking at here. Okay.
They haven't been on Raw. This is their first run on Raw since the split.
And that is what I'm trying to explain to Sal, and he thinks that is not the case. They have
No,
not won the
he's
Raw
right.
Tag
He's
Team
right.
Championships. They have won the
He's right.
SmackDown Tag Team Championships.
Yeah.
Numerous
Multiple times.
And they have won the
Okay.
WWE Tag Team Championships, but
Okay.
they were drafted to SmackDown in the very
originally
first
they were
brand
drafted.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I
So-
thought they
so-
were moved during a supplemental blance.
All right, now back to me getting my
Jason.
turn back.
Yes.
Biggie.
Correct. Sal.
Let's see. Cesaro.
Correct. Ginger.
Xavier Woods.
Jesus
Fuck!
fucking
I
Christ!
was gonna see if that was gonna. I was gonna see if that was getting back to me.
Dude, if you had said anyone other than Cesaro, I was going to be internet slap you across the face. Like, they gave you two of the New Day members. They're
Yeah.
Shit.
Jason.
Sheamus.
Incorrect. Seth.
What? That's not. No, that's not. No. I'm gonna fight you on that one.
All right.
They had the Raw belts into WrestleMania, and then they won the SmackDown tag titles. Because the Bar lost the titles to Braun Strowman and John Cone's kid, and then they moved to SmackDown, and they won the SmackDown tag titles.
We're not talking about the SmackDown Championships. We're talking about the WWE Tag Team Championship. Did he have the WWE Tag Team Championship? No, he had the Raw Tag Team Championship. He never had it before it was the Raw Tag Team Championships. It's the same lineage. It's the same belts.
He's talking about pre-brand split and then Raw post-brand split.
Well, all right. So which belts are we talking about? The red straps that we got currently.
Yep, and then the black with the bronze pennies.
Right. And the first time that Sheamus was a tag team champion for these belts was when he and Cesaro beat the New Day after the brand split. He never had them before the brand split. It's the same belts. They just became the Raw Tag Team belts when they did the brand split. I'm saying who won before and after the brand split.
But Cesaro was both because Cesaro won with not only Sheamus, but he won with Tyson Kidd back in whatever.
Yeah. So it's the penny belts all the way, and even before that, it's the old ones that that like Air Boom had in the new Nexus and shit like that.
Okay.
You're not getting a second one on that one, Sal.
Kofi Kingston.
Already said.
Oh, fuck. Matt Hardy.
Correct.
By the way, Troy won.
Ginger. You already said.
I had a
nothing.
fucking. What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Jeff Hardy.
Correct. Jason.
Oh, fuck.
I don't know why I'm fucking blanking. Fuck. God damn. Fuck. Chris Jericho.
Incorrect. Sal.
Seth Rollins.
That is correct. Ginger. Last chance.
Dean Ambrose.
Incorrect.
Fuck.
Dean Ambrose was not tag team champion. It was Roman Reigns in it. But Roman Reigns hasn't won either. The other two people, Drew McIntyre, because he had it with Dolph, and he had it before Baron back when he was... Who was he fucking with?
Not with 3MB. God, I hope not.
Where the fuck is he? Hold on, let me find him.
The fuck stable was he in?
I'm trying to remember myself.
Oh, you said stable. You know what? Now that it brings back. Oh, was it when with the
Cody Rhodes, sorry.
Oh,
Yes.
Same one, Cody Rhodes. And the other one, Curtis Axel.
okay. Yeah.
Alright, moving right along. Jason. Which single superstar has the longest combined time as tag champion?
Kofi Kingston.
Correct. Sal. Which... You okay over there, buddy?
Who, me?
No, Ginger was doing something.
Oh.
Sal.
Give him a layup.
Which single superstar has the most reigns as tag team champion?
Matt Hardy.
Incorrect.
Ugh.
Cesaro with 5.
Oh.
Ginger. Sorry, dude. Which team won and lost the belts on the same episode of Raw?
Is it Seth and Dean?
No. John Cena and The Miz.
I don't even fucking remember that.
Yeah, me neither.
That's what we call a deep cut. Okay. Now for something that you 100% cannot fucking challenge me on. Jason, who has won Money in the Bank? Man and female. Who has won Money in the Bank?
Like ever?
Yes. This is the complete list of people who have won Money in the Bank, men or female.
Oh, Jesus.
Jack Swagger.
You fucker.
I like we just had this pay-per-view and you choose Jack Swagger as the first time. Sal.
CM Punk.
That's correct. Ginger.
John Cena.
Jason.
Mr. Kennedy.
Hmm.
Okay, actually the same way I wrote it on here. Sal.
Edge.
Correct. Ginger.
Fucking Randy Orton.
Fucking Randy Orton. Yes, correct. Jason.
The Miz.
Correct. Sal.
Daniel Bryan.
Correct. Ginger.
Adolf Ziggler.
That is correct. Jason.
Kane.
Correct. Where is he? Sal.
Braun Strowman.
Correct.
Brock Lesnar.
Correct. Jason.
Alberto Del Rio.
Alberto.
Ooh, good one.
Del Taco. Sal.
Baron Corbin.
Ginger.
Alexa Bliss.
Correct. Jason.
Damian Sandow.
Correct.
Holy shit, good one.
Rob Van Dam.
Correct. Ginger.
Oh shit. Carmella.
Correct. Twice. Oops. Jason.
Bailey.
Shit.
Sal.
How many are we left?
3 people left.
Okay.
Oof.
Oh.
Sheamus.
Correct.
Yes.
Ginger.
Oh, fuck me.
It's already been said.
What?
No, I'm talking to myself.
Okay. Well, it's the last go around anyway, so you don't have to guess anymore. It's just Ginger.
Oh, okay.
You got 2 people left.
Fuck. Oh god.
look like you're taking a shit, Ginger.
No, that's.
I don't think I needed that.
Get that one out of your head.
I'm giving you 5 seconds.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Can I say it?
Bonus points, whoever gets it going now.
Seth. Seth Rollins
Oh my God.
and Dean Ambrose.
Did you die there, Jason?
Wait, hold on.
What?
We're the one time we're doing bonus points in this entire tournament.
No,
Like
I'm
we
just-
haven't
no,
done
I'm
that
just-
for any of these.
No, I'm just.
No, it was for shits and giggles. I didn't actually get
Yeah,
points.
with Seth and Dean. All right, Jason.
Yeah.
My favorite cash in. I'm so disappointed in myself.
I love the Dean Ambrose cash in.
I don't think that was the one he was talking about. Yeah.
I know.
How many times has the briefcase been used to cash in on the WWE Championship?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Don't
Jesus.
worry, buddy. You're next.
I know.
I have no fucking earthly idea.
WWE champ.
Jason is not going through the history in his mind.
12.
Close. 10.
Ooh.
Hey, Sal. How many times has the briefcase been used on the World Heavyweight Championship?
12.
Incorrect. 8.
Oh wow.
Gotta say 8 too. Son of a bitch.
Ginger for a chance to not win this. 2 people share the record for number of Money in the Bank ladder matches that they have been in. Who are they?
Edge and Kane.
Incorrect.
Fuck.
Both incorrect or one?
I don't want to say it because I'm going to give you a chance now.
Oh, okay. I want to say Kane is one of them. And the second one...
Oh my God.
Hey. Pipe down over
I
there.
sent him a dick pic. I'm sorry.
It's maybe a strange guess, but Kofi Kingston?
You are correct, sir.
Wow.
Oh,
Nice.
I thought it was Orton.
No, I just remember anytime they need somebody to do a stupid spot off a ladder, they called Kofi. So I just...
All right. Sal. 4 people. This is the last question, by the way. 4 people have won the Money in the Bank in the only Money in the Bank match they were entered in. Do you understand that statement? 4 people.
So in
have-
other words, they were in one Money in the Bank and they happen to win that match.
Correct.
Okay.
Give me one of them.
Kennedy.
Incorrect.
Oh.
Damn it!
He was a
He was in another one?
Yes.
Jesus Christ, I thought he was fired by then. Oh no, he was in the next year because he said he was going to win it and he didn't. That's right.
Sandow was one, right?
No, Santa was in 2.
Jack Swagger.
Nope, he was in more than one as well.
There's
This was harder than I thought it was going to be. There's one very obvious one.
Oh, Bailey.
Seth.
No, Bailey was.
Wait, are we
Oh.
just free falling right now? John Cena?
It is because Jason won, by the way.
Of course.
John Cena, Seth Rollins,
Yep.
Braun Strowman, and Brock Lesnar.
Motherfucker.
I'm surprised nobody got Brock Lesnar.
Oh, because Strowman didn't get in this. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, technically he wasn't. So that will take us then to our independent dates. Lucky Pro Wrestling presents Star Clash 6 on Saturday, June 15th. That is this Saturday at the Elks Hall. In Clinton, Mass. Tickets for this event are just $15 for 4-pack, or a 4-pack is just $50. That's $15. 4-pack is $50 because I am slurring my words. The main event will be a title versus champion, as the LPW champion Vern Vicala with Jillian Lay takes on the LPW Hardcocks champion Randy Shaw with Mr. Brian Cairo. The LPW Women's Championship will be on the line as Alicia Edwards takes on Isana. LPW Tag Team Championship on the line is the Bitter Club with Mr. Brian Cairo. Apparently, Brian's everywhere. Will take on Royce Bishop and the Patriot with Danica. Shake Cash and Davey Cash will take each other on in a street fight. Adira and Davey N will fight each other, as well as Kellen Thomas versus Club Cam versus Nico Silva. You can come see the Rundown's own Adam Salzer, the man who dared to work. Go to luckyprowrestling.com/starclash-6.html.
Atlantic Pro Wrestling presents Super Summer Smash on Saturday, August 17th from the Newburyport Elks Lodge at 25 Low Street, Newbury, Mass. Doors open at 5:45. Bell time is at 6:30. Get your tickets now for VIP packages as they are selling fast, and the VIP package gets you into a very special meet and greet that we'll tell you about in just a moment. Reserved front row seats are $20. Reserved second row seats, $15. Advanced general admission, $12, and it's $15 at the door. Individual ticket purchases do not grant entrance to the meet and greets. You must purchase a VIP package to attend those. The main event for the APW Heavyweight Championship, Ring of Honor star Brawler Malonis returns to APW to challenge the champion Dynamite Danny Miles. The APW New England title will be on the line as former champion Vern Vicalo challenges Demon Ortiz in a return. After a long hiatus from Atlantic Pro Wrestling, the retrosexual Anthony Green with his Platinum Honeys return to take on the masshole Mike McCarthy. Also appearing on this show will be former NXT and WWE superstar Simon Gotch, a.k.a. Simon Grimm. Also, Brawler Malonis will be bringing Future of Honor stars to APW as we feature the debuts of Brian Johnson, Rayo, and Dante Caballero. All of those people, Grimm, Malonis, and the Future of Honor stars, will be doing the meet and greet. You can get your pictures and your autographs all you want. For more information, go to facebook.com/Atlantic Pro Wrestling.
The company that known piece of shit Todd Sopel called the best company in a 40-mile radius, PBD's top independent wrestling company, The Proving Ground, returns to the PBD Nights of Columbus on Saturday, August 31st for Level 5. Ring of Honor superstar brawler Brian Malonis faces off with the so-called King of Monsters, Kevin Giles. The Proving Ground Championship will be on the line when current champion, the Ace, Mike Montero, steps into the ring with longtime rival, the PGOG, Derek Conway. King Leon VI and Corinne Mink will get married live in the ring. All that and much more, except known piece of shit Todd Sopel. He ain't booked, Terry, on August 31st.
And that does it for the rundown for this Thursday, June 13th, 2019. Please rate us 5 stars and review, and we will read your reviews on air. Follow us on Twitter at Rundown Network. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/rundownwrestling. Email the show your dick pics via rundownwrestling@gmail.com. Go to instagram.com/rundownwrestling, youtube.com/rundownwrestling to see all of our live recordings. Leave us a voicemail at 617-863-6967. That's 61 Rundown 7. We are on Patreon. You can head over to patreon.com/rundownwrestling to become a patron. Right now, we have been releasing some of our Patreon content that was from the past, slowly, so that way you can get a little bit of a taste, and maybe once.
Mark Henry.
Maybe you can. Yeah. All of the upcoming Patreon specials that we have coming out on the live feed, you could listen to right now if you became a Patreon. You can check out our website, rundownwrestling.com, for information on all of our great shows, such as the Nitromania podcast, Hurry Up and Cruiserweight, Making the Grade, NXT Revisited, Twat Magic, and WrestleMania Salvation. You can listen to our friends Brawler, Brian Malonis, and Mike Crockett on the Wrestling Podcast About Nothing with new podcasts every Monday. Go to facebook.com/thewpan or thewpan.com. Check out our friend Justin Michaels on his show Yesterland Waltz. Go to yesterlandwaltz.com or watch on your Roku through the RNTV app or the 24/7 Retro app. You can follow our hosts on Twitter at JStewart0920, at Rockstar Troy. See, as I tried to get blocked by Todd Sopel. Sorry, known piece of shit Todd Sopel.
Did you really?
No, not yet, but I'm working on it. At WrestleMania Sal, at The Salzer Effect, at Realist Tommy, at Johnny Adlog, at Ginger19876, at Hurry Up and Cruiser, and at Kendra Lust. I just looked at something with her today. That's kind of ironic. Thanks to all of you.
Did you say ironic or erotic?
Both.
Both.
Thanks to Jason for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks to
Pleasure to be
Sarah.
back.
Thank you, Troy.
Thanks to Ginger.
Thank you very much, guys. It was fun.
Fuck Todd Sopel.
Amen.
Next week, we continue to pleasure ourselves to pictures of Alexa Bliss.
So I guess that means that we will see ya next Thursday.
And we will see your ass next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Curious. I want to see how loud that popped in my mind.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, I told Adam I was gonna have fun with it. I had fun with it. That's why I asked him if he was gonna be on those shows, because I was like, if you're gonna be on those shows, I'm gonna have fun with it. So he gave me the green light. So, and apparently Todd Sibbel doesn't listen. So,
I'm gonna say,
You mean he gave you the green
Best
light, so
part.
you're ready to go?
yes, that's right. Give me the green
What the
light.
fuck did you say?
I said fuck Todd Sibbel.
No, the man who dared to work.
oh, that was so great.
And I mean, I reached out to Todd and gave me he let me know that that level 5 was definitely the best show in a 40-mile radius. So
That's great too.
He seemed to like it. So all right, I'm going to say goodbye to the YouTube stream. Thank you, John. Sorry we didn't say all of your stuff on there, but yeah, thank you for coming on.
Thank you, sir.